Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Gaowu, Awakening Time-Based Abilities at the Beginning. Chapter 31. Brother, aren't we leaving? Zhang Han asked, expressing confusion about Zhang Yu's decision. If we don't leave, we can't defeat the gold-level Rhino King, so we might as well see if we can become fishermen. Besides, we are here to practice. As he said that, Zhang Yu's eyes became sharp and he glanced at Han Han, who was standing aside, as if asking for her opinion. How could the thug who had finally been deceived be let go so easily? Zhang Yu, do you think a group of students who haven't even reached the bronze level can practice in the silver level beast space? Humans are no better than beasts. The lowest level for those who come here to experience is silver level. Han Han frowned, his tone slightly dissatisfied. She was already very unhappy when Zhang Yu threatened her sister with being a big thug. Are you still going to be a bodyguard now? Zhang Yu was helpless and looked at Zhang Han with an aggrieved look. Sister. Hearing Zhang Yu's coquettish tone, Zhang Han immediately softened his heart and immediately turned his head to look at Han Han with a complicated expression. In fact, there wasn't much conflict between the two of them, not to mention Han Han's desperate behavior to protect her when Yang Jiwei blew himself up, which really made her feel weak. Moreover, she is someone who easily becomes soft-hearted towards her own family members. When Zhang Han first entered high school, Han Han learned the news and immediately applied for a transfer order. He gave up his promising future and came to Luokang No. 1 middle school to be the dean of teachers just so that he could see his sister every day. But when she told Zhang Han everything, Zhang Han suddenly felt jealous of her. Just ask, if someone suddenly comes over and tells you that your current parents are not your biological parents, but she is your only relative. How would you feel? Zhang Han is actually quite resistant to Han Han in her heart. After all, she now has parents and a younger brother, and she loves them very much. They loved her too. Therefore, this resulted in the situation between the two of them after they were organized by Zhang Yu to meet. Zhang Han looked at Han Han with a complex expression, his red lips and soft teeth. Sister. The tone seemed to be pleading, and also seemed to be coquettish. Han Han. Why? Practice. Practice whatever you want, practice however you want. I am your most reliable bodyguard. Han Han changed his coldness just now, looked at Zhang Han with excitement, and immediately agreed, not forgetting to secretly give Zhang Yu an appreciative look. It's just that this look seems a bit charming to Zhang Yu. The familiar Han Han is back. Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. The gauze was finally broken. Sun Wenbin and Lu Yumeng looked shocked again. Did you eat Big Melon again today? Unexpectedly, Director Han is actually Sister Zhang Yu's sister. This kind of plot in novels can't be written like this. Even Li Dapeng was surprised. He didn't know about this relationship. Then he turned around and looked at Luo Yichang. She was not shocked at all. She knows. Li Dapeng suddenly felt abandoned. Don't get me wrong, she just found out 2 days ago. Zhang Yu noticed something strange about Li Dapeng and explained to him. Hearing this, Li Dapeng wiped away the displeasure on his face and pursed his lips, with this little arrogance on his face. Oh, I know, I'm not sad or anything. Hey, don't disgust me here, put away that arrogant little expression of yours. Zhang Yu's brain suddenly hit Li Dapeng's head, and he looked at Li Dapeng with disgust. Why are you still standing here? Go and lie to me now. Exener, can't you even eat melon? About half an hour later. The entrance to the beast space. 2 men in their early 20s and a girl of 18 or 19 years old stepped into the beast space at the same time. Little sister, brother has something to do. Why do you have to come with me? Besides, you can't choose any place to practice. You just got to brass and you're going to silver level. Ruowo was a little worried about her sister's safety, so she was the first to speak to her. Yes, little sister, there is nothing wrong with what the elder brother said. My brothers have something to do. What if some powerful beast really attacks you and your brothers can't defeat it? The man who spoke next was named Rubao, the second among the 3 siblings. The martial arts competition will start in a few months, and I want to practice in advance. Besides, I have my eldest and second brothers to protect me, so I'm not afraid. Even if there is any danger, I believe that with the abilities of the eldest and second brothers, we can easily deal with it. Rui Shui playfully stuck out her tongue and complimented her 2 brothers. What's more, the eldest brother and the second brother are the proud students of Imperial University. It's not easy to come to a small silver-level beast species space whenever you want. Hey hee hee, that's true. Ru Bao scratched his head with one hand, feeling a little embarrassed by Rui Shui's compliment. Is there anything more satisfying than a compliment from your own sister? While Ruoa was secretly proud, he suddenly felt his sleeve being tugged. When I looked down, I saw a little girl covered in dirty clothes. Brother, Exener's father left Exener here. Ah! He doesn't want Exener anymore. Big brother, can you take Exener out of here? Have children. Exener appeared behind Ruoa, holding Ruoa's sleeves tightly with her little hands, her eyes flashing with tears, and her tone of voice was so weak. The two brothers Ruoa and Ru Bao, who were already sister controllers, felt their hearts melt when they saw this scene. Although they also had some doubts about why they met a little girl as soon as they entered the beast space, when they saw the little girl's tears falling to the ground. Can tears still deceive people despite the suspicion of riding a horse? Especially Ruoa, who held Shiner in his arms with one hand and comforted her softly. Etc. Just when the two of them felt soft, Rui Shui reacted first and hurriedly stopped the two of them. You are suspicious. You dare to ask us to help you just after meeting us for the first time. Aren't you afraid that we are bad guys? Little sister. Depend on. Are all children today so smart? Exener cursed in her heart, how come everyone can see through me? Feeling that she had been seen through, Exener just wanted to give up, but after Zhang Yu's devilish methods came to mind, Exener shuddered and did not dare to give up anymore. Zhang Yu is not Yang Jiwei. If he fails to complete the task, Yang Jiwei and the others will at best be beaten. If it were Zhang Yu, hiss. Don't dare to think, don't dare to think. That guy is a living hell. God knows what kind of torture will be waiting for him if he fails to complete it. After hearing Rui Shui's words, the Ruoa brothers also noticed something strange here and put Shiner on the ground again. As the old saying goes, you'll never know how good you are unless you push yourself. While sobbing, Exener slowly opened her cotton-padded clothes. Scar, all scars. I saw scars all over Exener's back and arms. This is the result of Yang Jiwei and the others beating him 99 times and 81 times. The whole body was covered in scars, bruises, and the girl was sobbing softly. This scene made the two brothers' hearts twitch hard. It was as if he was choked by something and it was difficult to speak. My father beat my mother and me every day. He beat my mother to death and left me here. If you are also bad people, at most I will be beaten to death by you. I am not afraid. What if you are good people? Exener lowered her head, looking resigned to her fate. Even Rui Shui frowned when she saw this scene. Don't get me wrong, she just felt a little weird. Little girl, is the logic clear? A bruise and a bruise. Gain sympathy. She simply didn't believe there was such a coincidence. What's more, this is in the beast space. This was obviously planned by someone. Pocket man, gang crime. Rui Shui had already figured it out in her mind. Big brother and second brother. Little sister, please stop talking. Can tears still deceive people? Can bruises still deceive people? Rui Shui, forget it. Seeing her two brothers determined to help Exener, she knew it was useless to say anything at this moment. But with the strength of the eldest brother and the second brother, even if he is defeated, he can still escape with him. Even if they can't escape, at worst, they can use the identities of both brothers as students at Tito University to intimidate them, and then pay some money, which probably won't be a big problem. Needless to say, Rui Shui's logic is really applicable to most situations. If it were Yang Jiwei, he would probably be released without any compensation, and maybe he would have to pay some money himself. But unfortunately, what she met this time was a group of living Hell Kings, oh no, 3 good young people. At this time, Zhang Yu and the others were hiding out of boredom under the dense bushes, playing a game of guessing and slapping each other. Li Dapeng suffered a lot after losing. I won't play anymore. I won't play either. Me too. Li Dapeng. Li Dapeng's eyes turned red with anger when he heard everyone saying he didn't want to play. If one of you slaps me in the face, will you stop playing? Depend on. Playing tricks on me again. By the way, Zhang Yu, aren't you afraid that the people Shiner brings back will not be able to defeat us with just our strength? Zhang Yu waved his hand when he heard this and explained. Don't worry, Truly powerful people will not be deceived by her. Everyone she deceives is basically a fool. What are we afraid of a bunch of fools? If we can't defeat them, just play with our brains. Lu Yumeng, I always feel like you are inside me. No matter what happens, I just want to call you sister. It doesn't matter whether they are cows or horses, beat them all and cry. Luo Yisheng, if you can't fight, call your parents. You are a real dog. ... Brother, are you looking for that milky white piece? How do you know? Exener saw that many brothers and sisters are looking for that stone. But they don't believe Exener. Ruowa looked at Exener with tenderness in her eyes. I have found a little lucky star. After hearing this, Ruishui became even more convinced of Exener's evil intentions. This is obviously to invite you into the urn. But no more. Ruishui's beautiful eyes are full of sparkles. Will you please enter the urn? Maybe it's luring a wolf into the house. Exener, be good. If you have no place to go from now on, just live with your brothers. You will no longer have to live in fear. Rubao looked at Exener, whose eyes were red, and said softly. Yes, Exener, if you have no place to go, just follow us. We brothers will definitely take care of you as our own sister. Ruishui. Exener guided the way in Ruowa's arms, while Rubao and the two walked side by side. Behind the two of them was Ruishui with a resentful look on her face. About 10 minutes later, Zhang Yu and others were lying in the bushes with binoculars, looking at the three Ruishui brothers and sisters who were walking quickly. Hey, did Exener really trick a fool? Smelly brother, the people coming this time are very strong, one is silver 2 and the other is silver 3. Do you need me to take action directly? Zhang Han saw a few people coming quickly and said to Zhang Yu with a strange expression. It's just a little bit of silver, we can do it. When Zhang Yu saw Exener being held in Ruowa's arms, he knew the situation was stable. Brother, the things are right in front. Exener will take you to get them. After saying that, Exener immediately jumped off Ruowa's body, held the fingers of Ruowa and Rubao's brothers with her two little hands, and walked inside. At this time, the pace of the four people was getting closer and closer to the bush. 3 steps, 5 steps. Time to stop. Zhang Yu moved one hand toward Ruowa's position, and a golden clock appeared above Ruowa's head. This time the golden clock did not last long and turned into a golden hourglass in a blink of an eye. 3 seconds. Zhang Yu shouted in a low voice. Ice, shield binding, spirit vine binding. Li Dapeng, Luo Yisheng, and Sun Wenbin all released their skills in Ruishui's direction. In the blink of an eye, Ruishui was controlled by the skills released by the three of them. Depend on. Still careless, Ruishui said in frustration. Although she had already guessed that someone would attack by surprise, she was fully prepared. However, the sudden skill still prevented her from reacting. He suffered the loss of having no combat experience. Immediately afterwards, Luo Yichang shot another ice thorn at Ruishui. Little sister. Rubao, who had just reacted, let go of Shiner's hand and rushed towards Ruishui. At the same time, Lu Yumeng, who was closest to Ruowa, pulled Shiner over and handed her into Zhang Yu's hands. Of course, this also requires Exener's cooperation. Miasma. Rubao's face instantly turned purple, and a strong black gas came out of his mouth and hit the ice thorns. Zilla. The ice spikes were instantly corroded, and Rubao slapped the ice off Ruishui's body with another palm. 3 seconds have passed. Ruowa suddenly broke free from the time stop and jumped back, widening the distance between him and Zhang Yu. Time system. Why did the time system become a robber? Before Ruowa and the others could think too much, Exener burst into tears in Zhang Yu's hands. Big brother, save Exener. Zhang Yu held Exener's neck with one hand and exerted slight force on his palm. Exener's face instantly turned red. Let her go. To deal such a harsh blow to a little girl, are you still not human? Ruowa Rubao's eyes turned red when she saw Exener was squeezing her neck and crying. Looking at Zhang Yu, he wanted to tear him apart. This scene made Ruishui on the side feel that she had wrongly blamed Shiner. Was it really a chance encounter? Isn't Exener lying to them? But she couldn't allow her to think too much when Exener's hoarse cry came again. Now, I give you 3 minutes to hand over all the valuable things you have. Otherwise, I will kill her. Zhang Yu pinched Exener's neck and everyone looked at Ruishui and sneered. That looks like a great villain. Sao, you are a scumbag. You are a scum. You can even attack such a young child. You have spent all your time in vain. That's right, at such a young age, you have such vicious thoughts. You beast. I'm just going to kill you up, you fool. Ruowa and Rubao yelled at Zhang Yu. The content of the scolding becomes increasingly unacceptable. Zhang Yu didn't say anything back, he just looked at the two of them without a smile. After seeing Zhang Yu's reaction, Luo Yichang and Li Dapeng immediately started to mourn for them. A little girl wants to exchange all our things. You are too whimsical. Besides, who knows if you and this little girl are in the same group? Rui Shui squinted her eyes and tried. She still felt that Exener and Zhang Yu were acting. Oh, is it so? Zhang Yu stretched out his other hand, and Luo Yichang immediately condensed a long ice thorn and handed it to his hand. Phew, Zhang Yu took the ice spike and stabbed it hard into Exener's calf. It's so true, it's bone-chilling. Exener immediately echoed, tears streaming down her face, and her painful cries were heartbreaking. Of course, it really hurts to cry. That's enough. I'll give you all the valuable things we have. But you have to let Exener go first. Ruowa glanced at her sister with some dissatisfaction, and then took out all the valuable things on her body. You are not qualified to negotiate terms with me. Now, bring all the valuable things you three have on you to me immediately. Ruowa stopped Rubao, who was about to speak, and placed all the belongings of the three siblings 10 meters in front of Zhang Yu. Now, can you let me go? Zhang Yu gave Li Dapeng a look, and the latter immediately understood and took everything over and counted it. Poor, Li Dapeng cursed at the three people in a low voice while counting the stolen goods. Depend on. I will endure. When you release the hostages, I will beat you three little brats to tears. Let me tell you, we two brothers are students at Imperial University. If you dare not let us go. Rubao's eyes flashed with anger and his fists were clenched. Steal our things and call us poor people. If you have the ability, don't rob me. What's wrong with Tito University? There aren't too many things, right? Are you still hiding them privately? Li Dapeng looked at everyone with some suspicion and said. Hearing this, the three brothers and sisters almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. Do you still want that wave face of yours? Although they wanted to yell at Li Dapeng, they swallowed their words when they saw Exener bleeding profusely. How could it be possible? The three of us are all poor and have no money. Rubao said with an apologetic smile, and even Ruishui's face turned red with anger. Oh, I think your sister is pretty good. If you don't have money, why not? Li Dapeng glanced at Ruishui, who was in better shape, and his facial expression turned obscene. Rubao and Rubao immediately exploded. They couldn't bear it anymore. This was really unbearable. The worst-case scenario is that the fish will die and the net will fall apart. Ruishui also had a riot of awakening factors all over her body, as if she was about to attack the three of them in the next second. Zhang Yu glared at Li Dapeng fiercely. Dapeng, have I ever taught you not to rob wealth? I was just kidding, I'm sorry, I will never do it again. Li Dapeng scratched his head and apologized to Ruishui. Ruowa Rubao, this robber is quite polite. That's enough. I've given you all the things, it's time for you to let me go. Ruishui ignored Li Dapeng and said with a frown. Zhang Yu picked up Exener, moved his lips slightly without anyone noticing, and whispered two words, then threw Exener towards Ruowa. Ah! After Exener screamed in the air, she was held in Ruowa's arms. Ooh, big brother Exener is afraid. I'm sorry, big brother, Exener made you waste your money. Ruowa looked down at Exener, who was apologizing in her arms, her tone full of gentleness. Exener, be good. There's no need to apologize to my brother. It's my brother who didn't protect you. At this time, Ruishui's eyes when looking at Exener no longer looked as wary as before. What a good boy, he didn't even mention it after being so seriously injured, and even apologized to his brother. Exener's strong look made her want to slap her former self twice. If it wasn't because he wanted to test her, Exener wouldn't have been hurt by that beast. Thinking of this, Ruishui looked at Zhang Yu for hurting Exener with resentment on her face, her teeth clenched and her fists clenched. Elder brother, ×2. Following Ruishui's call, the two of them instantly understood what she wanted to do. Immediately afterwards, the awakening factors on the three of them rioted, as if they were about to rush over and be torn apart by Zhang Yu in the next second. Sister, it's all Exener's fault, please don't be angry with Exener. Before the three of them could take action, Exener spoke to Ruishui with a look of remorse. I don't blame Exener. It was my sister who was too suspicious before. Our Exener is the best little girl. Then, sister, have you forgiven Exener? Ruishui nodded, walked over and touched Exener's little face. Great, sister, can you give me a hug? Exener is afraid. Seeing Exener's pleading face, Ruishui hugged her in her arms without saying a word. Little sister, keep an eye on Exener here, don't let those beasts sneak up on you. To deal with these three brats who don't even have brass, the two of us are enough. After hearing this, Ruishui glanced at the poor Shinner, and after thinking for a moment, she felt that what Ruowa said made sense. After saying yes, he hugged Exener and sat on a stone not far away. Seeing that everyone behind them was safe, the Ruowa brothers laughed evilly, shook their arms and walked towards Zhang Yu. Little beast, it's time for us to fight back this time. This punch was for Exener. Miasma fist. As soon as he finished speaking, Ruowa's right hand was filled with miasma, and he punched Zhang Yu with one punch. Younger brother. Not far away, Zhang Han's heart jumped into his throat when he saw this scene, and he was about to take action. But then she saw Zhang Yu giving her a reassuring look. Zhang Han suppressed the impulse in his heart and hid back. At this moment, Exener, who was being held in her arms, looked confused. Do you want to take action yourself? But they are really good to themselves. Just as she was hesitating, Zhang Yu's look like the king of hell once again appeared in her mind. Gone. Let's repay the favor when we get a chance. Otherwise, I will be scratched alive by this ancestor. Sorry. If you want to blame the living king of hell. While Ruishui was watching the battle, Exener gathered a dagger and pressed it firmly against Ruishui's neck. Exener, you. Shish. No matter how you say it, Exener is still a silver. Isn't it easy to sneak attack a kid who just got brass and has no combat experience? Why are you so angry? I taught my people a lesson, and you are still angry. Zhang Yu looked at the angry Ruowa and smiled brightly, pointing behind him with his finger. You still want to play the game of crying wolf? Today I have to beat you to tears. Ruowa laughed evilly, but still refused to give up, and rushed towards Zhang Yu. Brother, look behind you. Idiot, you can do this little trick. Ruowa turned his head back. I saw Exener pressing Ruishui to the ground and holding a dagger to her neck. Home was stolen. Exener did it. Are they together? Have I been fooled? I'll just ride on the horse asterisk. The two brothers Ruowa and Rubao felt that they had been deceived emotionally. In fact, they were emotionally deceived. You are despicable, dirty, shameless, you villain. Ruowa reacted and cursed at Zhang Yu, who was very close. I'm a good young man. Don't slander me. Just as the two were yelling at each other, Rubao dodged and rushed in front of Zhang Yu, strangled Zhang Yu's neck with his left hand, and condensed a short sword with his right hand to press it against Zhang Yu's neck. Let my sister go, otherwise we will die together. However, how could Zhang Yu, who was so thoughtful, not think that they would capture the thief and capture the king? Oh, threatening me. Exener stabbed his sister twice. Zhang Yu ordered to Exener in the distance. However, Exener looked confused, not knowing whether she should take action or not. These people were very kind to themselves. They thought they were being held hostage and spent all their money to save themselves. Although Ruishui didn't believe in herself at first, she later opened her heart to her and really treated her like a younger sister. How does this make her start? What, Exener, can't you understand what I said? Or do you also want to try Yang Jiwei's death method? Oh no, you will be 10,000 times worse than him. Don't forget my methods. Seeing that Exener didn't make a move, Zhang Yu narrowed his eyes and threatened. Shut up. Stop talking. We can't afford to offend you, okay? I'll apologize to you, but don't hurt my sister, okay? At this time, Ruowa felt a little dazed. He really didn't expect Zhang Yu to be so crazy. Isn't he afraid that he will risk his life? Coupled with Exener's betrayal, her sister was held hostage. EMMY is the protagonist of my book The Villain. Exener, I know you are being threatened. Just do it. My sister doesn't blame you. Ruishui closed her eyes as if resigned to her fate, and a drop of clear tears flowed from the corner of her eyes. How do I start with this? Exenor's little hand holding the dagger trembled a little, but she thought of the methods of this living king of hell. Top 10 tortures. I'm sorry, sister, don't blame Exenor. Exenor slashed Ruishui's arm, causing blood to flow instantly. Ruishui, are you really going to cut it? This doesn't impress you. Sao, do you dare to kill my sister? Then I will kill you too. As he said that, Rubao, whose eyes were red, stabbed Zhang Yu's arm, and the same blood spurted out. Younger brother. Seeing his brother's injury, Zhang Han couldn't sit still, but Han Han grabbed him. This is his experience. We must not take action before he calls us. Besides, he is still in the time system. He has many ways to protect himself, not to mention he still has chips in his hand. Listen to sister, nothing will happen to Zhang Yu, I promise. Han Han stared at Zhang Han's eyes seriously and kept comforting her, which finally calmed Zhang Han down. But the eyes he looked at the two brothers were filled with hatred. They are all students at Tito University anyway, so I have to beat them every day from now on. Oh no, 10 meals. Zhang Yu looked at the wound on his arm and released the loading skill. The wound disappeared instantly, not even a scar was left. This scene shocked the eyes of the two brothers. What, do you want to change the injury? To tell you the truth, even if you kill me, I can still come back to life. I am immortal. Depend on. The time system is really abnormal. Rubao cursed inwardly, the dagger in his hand fell off, and he sat on the ground with a dejected look on his face. He knew he didn't have any leverage left. Exchange your life. He really didn't dare to joke with his sister's life, let alone, what if Zhang Yu really couldn't be killed? After all, there are too many unknowns about time for them. You win, tell me, under what conditions can I let my sister go? Ruowa on the side also spread out on the ground, smiled bitterly, and said to Zhang Yu. Wouldn't it be over already? Zhang Yu twisted his stiff neck and made a clicking sound. The Heartstone is in the Rhinoceros King's cave. Exenor knows where it is. I will ask her to follow you. Before that, your sister needs to be my hostage. Is that okay? The two brothers Ruowa and Rubao nodded. They didn't dare to say anything if they had any questions. After all, my sister is in the hands of others. What if someone is unhappy and asks me to be an uncle? Done. Sister, come out. Let me introduce you to my new little brother, who is from Imperial University. After the brothers nodded, Zhang Yu immediately clapped his hands and called his sister and Han Han to come out. Mainly to measure the bull and let them know that not only is he ruthless, but he also has a sister from Imperial University and a bodyguard. Lest they both get into trouble again. Also, Zhang Yu admires this girl for being smart and knowing how to test. If she has good talent, she can be included in his team to compete in future national martial arts competitions. As for Sun Wenbin and Lu Yumeng, the main reason for calling them two was to make up for the numbers, not to mention that they would never be able to get on stage in a national high-level martial arts competition. It's enough to take them to have a chicken competition in Los Angeles. I believe they both thought so too. Bang bang. Han Han was the first to applaud Zhang Yu, followed closely by Zhang Han. Zhang Han, why are you here? The moment they saw Zhang Han, Ruowa and Rubao's mouths opened wide. However, Zhang Han ignored the two of them and pulled Zhang Yu's arm with a distressed look on his face. Brother, does it still hurt? Zhang Yu looked at Zhang Han, who had a worried face, and felt a rush of heat in his heart. Sister, it doesn't hurt. It's not like you don't know that I have rough skin and thick flesh. After saying that, Zhang Yu waved his arm to show that he was fine. Don't be so reckless next time. Okay. Zhang Yu shyly scratched his head again, with a smile on his face like a sunny boy. Okay, stop being poor, you brat, you almost made my sister cry. Han Han looked at Zhang Yu with a resentful expression, feeling a little jealous in his heart. Look, this is my biological sister. I have never cared so much about my biological sister. No, Zhang Han, the flood has washed away the Dragon King Temple. Doesn't the whole family recognize each other? My brother came here to find the Heartstone just for you, well. Before he finished speaking, Rubao's mouth was blocked by Ruowa. Family, who is your family? You dare to hurt my brother, right? Just wait for me. Don't let me see you in school. Zhang Han said to the two brothers in a cold tone, which was completely different from the tone he used when facing Zhang Yu. It's over. Seeing Zhang Han's attitude towards him, Ruo's heart skipped a beat. It's really a loss to my sister and myself at the same time. All three of us brothers and sisters fell into the hands of her brother. Or a high school student who is not even a brass. How could I still pursue her? Ruo's mentality was about to explode. She thought that after she came to the beast space to get the Heartstone and gave it to Zhang Han, she would become fond of him. But the result, his sister was kidnapped, his relationship was deceived, the brothers were used as free labor, and even the woman he liked would look down on him from now on. All the pants you have to lose money on are gone, okay. Well done. It deserves praise. Han Han clapped, not hiding his admiration for Zhang Yu. After all, with the strength of a few people who were not even gold medals, they were able to defeat two silver-level top students from Imperial University. This achievement was already considered outstanding. Although their methods are very dirty. But if you really work hard, who will tell you about martial ethics? Well, can you please let my sister go first? For the sake of us being classmates at the same school. The Heartstone, I will give it to you before dark. Ruo looked at Zhang Han with expectant eyes, hoping that Zhang Han would let his sister go for the sake of his classmates. But he still underestimated Zhang Han's resentment towards him. Classmates, if you weren't still useful to my brother, I wouldn't mind trying to kill someone. Zhang Han rubbed Zhang Yu's head, glanced sideways at the two brothers from the corner of his eye, and spoke in a cold tone. Even Zhang Yu shuddered when he heard it. My sister is really murderous towards them. Yu Bao was about to speak when he was interrupted by Zhang Yu's cold voice. Get out now. If you can't get the Heartstone back before dark, I will kill your sister. Ruoa. __ winking face. Don't be impulsive, let's get out of here, get out of here. With that said, Ruoa took the angry Bao away, not forgetting to comfort Ruishui when leaving. Little sister, wait for us, we will be back to rescue you right away. Brother, I'm waiting for you. Seeing the deep love between the three siblings, Exener felt more and more guilty. But out of Zhang Yu's order, she tied up Ruishui with a rope and handed it to Luo Yichang. And she herself has to lead the way for the two brothers. After Ruoa and others left, Zhang Yu and the others sat around Ruishui and formed a group around her. Answer me a few questions and I'll untie you, how about that? Ha, bah, get out. Ruishui snorted coldly and spat at Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu dodged and a few blue veins popped up on his forehead. Okay, this is the first time I've seen a prisoner as tough as you. I hope you won't regret it. Oh, those who play tricks have a bad heart. Yeah, get out of here, don't touch me. Zhang Yu had a cruel smile on his face and pushed Ruishui to the ground. Sister, Xiao Chang'er, come to help. Zhang Yu, you can't do this kind of thing, it's wrong. If you want, I can do that too. Luo Yichang's face turned red when she saw Ruishui being pushed to the ground, and she spoke to Zhang Yu jealously. Zhang Han, however, didn't say anything. He came up and held Ruishui down so that she couldn't move. What are you thinking? Who would I be? Come and help hold her down. Zhang Yu gave Luo Yichang a look and took off Ruishui's white shoes. You beast, you have to die. Ah, Ruishui, who was pinned to the ground and unable to move, shed a tear from her eyes. Is my innocence going to be destroyed in the hands of this beast? Before she could think about it, Luo Yichang immediately rushed over and held down her legs. Hey, you're so grown up, and you're still wearing pink girl pattern socks. I want you to take care of the fool. I curse you for not doing it. Han Han slapped Li Dapeng and Sun Wenbin on the heads who were watching the excitement. Don't look at things that are not suitable for children. Li Dapeng, Sun Wenbin, why can Zhang Yu get started but I can't watch? Li Dapeng covered his head and looked at Han Han with an aggrieved look. Nonsense, aren't you taking advantage of others? Zhang Yu said suddenly. Then why can you watch it? Aren't you taking advantage? Because I think she is the one taking advantage. Li Dapeng, everyone, you can order that one to show your face. Zhang Yu found two softer branches from the ground, and then took off Ruishui's pink patterned socks, revealing her tender pink feet. Creak, creak, creak. Yeah, haha, Stop scratching, you fool. Within a few minutes, Ruishui, who was smiling so brightly, burst into tears. Ruishui. You're still scolding me, right? Huh. Zhang Yu snorted coldly and increased the strength of his hand. Stop scolding, ah. Stop it, oh, ha ha ha. Is it wrong? Do you dare to spit at me? I was wrong, I won't dare to do it again. After hearing this, Zhang Yu took the branch away from Ruishui's pink and tender feet. Zhang Han and Luo Yichang also took back their hands that were holding her down. Let me ask you, how old are you? Ruishui squatted on the spot holding her knees, wiping her red eyes with the back of her hand from time to time, her voice slightly hoarse. 18. That's not what I asked. Zhang Yu glanced at Ruishui with a lewd expression. 32D. Although she blushed with embarrassment at answering such a question, she remembered Zhang Yu's no-limit attitude. Forget it, just be ashamed, it's better than him actually doing something to himself. Don't fall into this girl's hands. Ruishui secretly thought that at this time, a revenge plan was gradually unfolding in her mind. It's not too late for a woman to take revenge in 2 days. What school do you go to? Luokang No. 3 Middle School. Oh, what kind of power have you awakened? After asking this question, Zhang Yu stared into Ruishui's eyes. If only her awakened talent could be strong. Either pull her into the team yourself or kill her. Otherwise, she will definitely be his strongest opponent. Sea-level fire power. Ruishui was not afraid and stared into Zhang Yu's eyes. Oh, you beast, do you think I will tell you the truth? I'm afraid if I tell you the truth, I probably won't survive. Zhang Yu is a smart man, and Ruishui is no exception. Give yourself an enemy with powerful talents. I guess no one would do this except those holy ladies. Although Zhang Yu will find out sooner or later, he must not let him know when his life is in his hands. Don't be so nervous, what's your name? After the two looked at each other for a moment, Zhang Yu grinned and asked. Ruishui. Auspicious snow heralds a good harvest. What a good name. No, it's Ruishui covers the morning sun. Zhang Yu nodded and said no more. Does the auspicious snow cover up the morning light? After some interrogation, an excited Zhang Yu walked out of the woods with a red-faced Ruishui, followed by Zhang Han and Luo Yichang, who also had red faces. Why did this Zhang Yu ask a private question? Why don't you ask yourself? It's not like you won't tell him. Luo Yichang thought in his mind. At this time, Zhang Yu seemed to have discovered a new continent. It turns out that girls can look like this. Zhang Yu, what have you done? Why do you make people blush? As soon as Zhang Yu came out, Li Dapeng, who was full of curiosity, shoved a wooden stick into his throat that he picked up from somewhere. Ahem, ba ba ba. Li Dapeng, your uncle. The furious Zhang Yu grabbed the wooden stick and stuffed it into Li Dapeng's mouth. Don't get me wrong, I'm just curious and want to visit you. Interview with your uncle. Zhang Yu was still unwilling to let go. He took a stick and dipped some animal excrement on the roadside and stuffed it into Li Dapeng's mouth. Ah, I was wrong, brother Yu, I was wrong. Haha, this is not over yet. Stop. After Zhang Yu immobilized Li Dapeng, he immediately opened his mouth and stuffed the stick in. Ah, this scene made everyone vomit. These two people are so incompetent. Especially Ruishui. After seeing this scene, I was so frightened that my face turned pale. Fortunately, I begged for mercy quickly. If only I could give it to myself. Hiss, you will commit suicide yourself. He will definitely commit suicide. After the timeout ended, Li Dapeng pulled out the stick stained with excrement from his mouth. I ran to the river and vomited. About half an hour passed. Exener has already brought the two brothers outside the Rhinoceros King's cave. The three of them looked inside and saw the Rhinoceros King, who was more than 3 meters tall, sleeping on the steps. He also put a stone next to his head as a pillow. Hulu, Hulu, I'll lure him away in a while, and Exener will go inside to steal the heart stone. Brother, you'll meet me at the door. With my current strength, I can still hold him back for a while. Ruowa smiled confidently and whispered instructions to the two of them. Huh, why should I go? The heart stone is so big, are you sure I can handle it? Exener pointed at herself in disbelief. There is no reason, just go if you are told. Ruowa looked at the man who hurt his sister and deceived his feelings with a gloomy expression. Hey, Big brother, Exener can't hold such a big stone. You are an idiot, I will do it for you. Seeing Exener's coquettish look, Rubao opened his mouth and heard the fragrance of birds and flowers. Are you still acting for me now? Shish. Ruawa quickly covered Rubao, who was yelling, and signaled him not to wake up the rhinoceros king. If you don't go, we will kill you now. A look of ferocity appeared on Rubao's face, and his cold eyes stared at Exener. Okay, why is it so bad? Isn't it okay for me to go? That's pretty much it. Ruawa signaled the two of them to hide first, while he picked up a relatively large stone from the roadside. He tipped it into his hand, the weight was just right, and he used his skill to coat the stone with a layer of miasma. After the two of them hid, Ruawa took a stone full of miasma and aimed it at the sleeping Rhino King's head, and threw it hard. Boom! The stone hit the Rhino King's head accurately, instantly causing a 20-centimeter bump to appear. The sleeping Rhinoceros King felt a pain in his head and immediately stood up and screamed. Moo moo! The first time he saw Ruawa, he pushed towards him like crazy. Why is it so fast? Boom! Before he had time to dodge, he was pushed 5 meters away by the furious Rhino King. Hiss! Ruawa lay on the ground and suddenly felt like his body was falling apart. It hurts so much. Moo moo! Even if you disturb my sleep, you still pack such a big package for me. I'll fight with you. The Rhinoceros King still refused to let go and pushed towards Ruawa, who was 5 meters away again. No, ouch! When the Rhinoceros King's horn went down, Ruawa covered Huchu with both hands in pain, her face turned the color of pig liver. Asshole! Not only an anus explosion, but also a critical hit. Flying in the sky, Ruawa has never felt as fulfilled as she does today. Moo! The Rhino King looked at the filth on his horn and let out a cry of disgust. Doesn't this person even clean up? He casually rubbed a few times on the passing rabbit, then chased after Ruawa's position. Tutu! Who am I provoking? Elder brother. Rubao closed his eyes in pain watching his brother being pushed away. Brother, don't worry, I will definitely tell my sister about your feat. It was you who risked your life to lure the Rhino King away for us. It's you. Okay. Exener picked up and slapped Rubao on the head, who was grieving, and said. Don't worry about the spring and autumn here. Your brother is not dead yet. Hurry up and follow me to find him. Didn't my brother ask you to find him? After hearing what this idiot said, Exener jumped up and slapped him again. If you think your brother can last for a long time, then I will find it myself. ... Makes sense. After reacting, Rubao grabbed Shinner and rushed into the cave. That means you don't dare to delay for even a second. At this time, the Rhino King was going crazy. Look at yourself covered in filth. Why is this human being so neglected? The more you hit him, the more he will squirt. The more you squirt, the angrier you will become. The angrier you get, the more you will hit him. It's like being stuck in a loop. Ruawa's face turned pale with fright when he saw the Rhino King charging towards him again. Brother Niu, I was wrong, please don't hit me. But the Rhino King didn't listen at all. Continued to push towards Ruawa. Moo, let you disturb my sleep and make it impossible for you to poop cleanly. At the same time, Zhang Yu stared at Ruishui with suspicion. Are you really out of money? Brother, you've asked me 18 times. I'm really broke. I've lost even a dime. I don't believe it, you want me to search. With that said, Zhang Yu stretched out his claws towards Ruishui. Pa! Luo Yichang slapped Zhang Yu's hand away and protected Ruishui behind her with a speechless expression. Xiao Shanger, you've interrupted me 18 times. I feel uncomfortable if you don't let me search. No, if you want to search, just search me. Luo Yichang made a show of opening her down jacket. No, I won't search anymore. Zhang Yu squatted on the ground depressedly, found a branch, and began to draw circles on the spot. What's wrong with Xiao Shanger? Why does she always stop herself from attacking Ruishui? She must still have money. Zhang Yu looked at Ruishui suspiciously. With this girl's cleverness, it's impossible to hand over all the money, so she must have some backup. This can be seen when she lied to herself that she had a sea-level power. Whose sea-level abilities will follow them to the silver-level beast species space. What to do? As a burden. Since she will come, it means that she must have her own confidence. It's just that Zhang Yu's eye somersaulted. And of course, her two idiot brothers. At this time, inside the Rhinoceros King cave, Rubao and Shinner searched through the entire cave, only digging 3 feet into the ground, but they couldn't find the heart stone. Didn't you say you were in the Rhino King's cave? Why not? Rubao grabbed Exener and asked anxiously. My brother can't hold on for that long. How do I know? I saw it here before. When did you see him? A month ago. Rubao. A month ago, even if it wasn't taken by someone long ago. You know, everyone who comes to this beast space basically comes for the heart stone. In 1 month, at least 1,000 teams have come. No, I'll be guarding the entrance and exit every day. There's no way I wouldn't notice someone taking it out. After all, it's such a big piece. Exener shook her head and denied Rubao's statement. So big, what does the heart stone look like? Hey, it's just like the steps this big rhinoceros sleeps on. After hearing this, Rubao stepped forward and gently wiped the steps with his hand. I saw that the originally black and yellow steps were rubbed by Rubao and immediately turned into milky white. Rubao, Exener, did that Rhinoceros King sleep in this color? This is too embarrassing. The two of them didn't talk too much, just put the heartstone on their shoulders, turned around and ran out of the cave. As soon as he came out of the cave, he saw the Rhino King dragging Ruawa standing there like a dead dog. Ruawa's body is full of filth. 3 people and 1 rhinoceros stared at each other with big eyes and small eyes. What the hell is going on? Did the Rhino King beat the shit out of Rubao? Drag it back. It's not too much to bury Tai. The most confused person at this time is the Rhino King. What the hell? I was hesitating whether to take this idiot to take a shower, but when I came back, my bed was moved. Home was stolen. Why are you stunned? Run quickly and rescue the little sister first. Ruawa yelled at Rubao, who had not yet woken up from the daze. But brother, after being yelled at by Rubao also woke up. Stop it, leave quickly and save my little sister first. There was determination in Ruawa's eyes, and she looked like she was looking forward to death. Rubao gritted his teeth, carried the heartstone and Exener and ran as hard as he could in the direction of Zhang Yu. The Rhinoceros King, who had regained his composure, was furious at that moment. Stealing my bed. I hate you to death. Do you know how amazing this bed is? As long as I lie down and sleep on it, I can see my deceased mother. You actually robbed it from me. Moo, the Rhinoceros King shouted, kicked Ruawa aside, stood up and rushed towards Rubao who was carrying the heart stone. Groove. Rubao lowered his head and cursed secretly. Shadow Step. As the awakening assassin's superpower Rubao releases his skills, a strong awakening factor condenses on his feet. Rubao's speed increased a lot in an instant. The distance between him and the Rhino King was instantly widened. Even Ruawa, who is 1 level higher than him, is far behind. Moo. Rhino King also followed suit, and his speed was as fast as Rubao who had activated his skills, or even a little faster. The difference between gold level and silver level is now reflected. You can catch up with the skills of a silver level assassin just by relying on your own physical fitness. At this time, when Ruawa saw the Rhino King throwing him aside, he immediately got up and limped towards Zhang Yu and the others. After about 10 minutes, Rubao's mental strength bottomed out, and the awakening factor on his feet also disappeared and appeared from time to time, flickering non-stop. The speed of the Rhino King behind him remains undiminished. But it's almost there. At the same time, Luo Yichong, Rui Shui and Lu Yumeng had a great time chatting. I don't know how they got along and turned the captives into little sisters. And Rui Shui was not at all on guard against Luo Yisheng and the other two. Outrageous. On Zhang Yu's side, the first thing Li Dapeng did when he ran back after rinsing his mouth at the river was to fight Zhang Yu. But after Zhang Yu suffered 2 big sinuses, he squatted directly under the big tree and drew circles. Do you know how harmful 2 large sinuses can be to an 18-year-old child? Sisters Zhang Han and Han Han are no longer as cold as before. Instead, they ask for help in various ways. Especially Han Han, the smile on her face has never stopped since her sister started talking to her. Shit, look, there is a savage in the distance carrying a stone and rushing towards us. When Sun Wenbin saw it, he immediately stood up from the ground and called Zhang Yu and the others anxiously. What the hell? The wild beauty is running towards us wearing a bellyband. Li Dapeng lost his depression instantly, picked up the telescope next to him and looked at the location pointed by Sun Wenbin. Ru Bao, who was covered with dust, was looking at a big stone on his shoulder. Sitting on the big stone was Shinner, running towards everyone. The soles of my shoes are worn out. What the hell? It's not wild beauty, it's Ru Bao and Exener. And behind them is this big rhino. Second brother. Ruishui lost her composure immediately after hearing this. Before Ruishui could say anything, Luo Yisheng took out the telescope beside her and handed it to Ruishui. Thanks. A trace of warmth flowed through Ruishui's heart, but now was not the time to talk about this. See, small details can move a girl's heart. After using the telescope, Ruishui hurriedly checked on her second brother. Good guy, just like a savage. You brat, if you need me to take action, just say it. Han Han looked at the Rhino King in the distance, licked his lips, and said to Zhang Yu. It's a trivial matter, just a gold-level beast. Zhang Yu waved his hand, looking indifferent. What? Stop joking, let Director Han take action, otherwise my brother will die. Ruishui anxiously grabbed Zhang Yu's arm, her eyes pleading. While chatting with Luo Yichang, she had already roughly understood everyone's strength. If Han Han didn't take action, none of them would be able to defeat the Rhinoceros King. Including Zhang Han. Get up, don't pull me, he won't die. Zhang Yu pulled away Ruishui, who was begging him softly, turned around and took out a large-scale Molotov cocktail from his backpack that was rewarded by the system. As early as when the system issued rewards, he had already put the Molotov cocktail in his backpack. Everyone looked at the test tube bottle filled with dark blue liquid in confusion. What is this? Why does it feel so scary? How to use a large-scale Molotov cocktail. Open the cork to let the liquid in the bottle come into contact with the air and then throw it out. Note: the flame of liquid burning is difficult to extinguish. Please do not burn yourself by playing with fire. After reading the system's explanation, Zhang Yu held a Molotov cocktail with a dignified look on his face. At this time, Ru Bao had arrived less than 10 meters away from everyone. Holy light barrier. Zhang Han waved her hand, and the awakening factors gathered in her hand. Then, a beam of light emitted from her hand. A cage made of light condensed around the Rhino King. Moo, the Rhinoceros King yelled, and with just a little force, most of the barrier was destroyed. You brat, you really don't need my help. A flash of worry flashed in Han Han's eyes. Zhang Yu shook his head and said nothing, directly saving a place for Ru Bao and Shinner, who ran over. Then he removed the stopper of the incendiary bottle and saw that the blue liquid gradually began to boil. When the time was right, Zhang Yu threw himself at the location of Rhinoceros King and Ruowa. The dark blue liquid exploded in the air, directly covering Rhino King and Ruowa. Even Exener was not spared. Wherever the dark blue liquid splashed, blazing blue fires ignited. Ah! Ru Bao yelled, threw the Heartstone and Exener on his shoulders, and lay on the ground trying to put out the flames by rolling on his body. It's a pity that it doesn't work at all. After a while, there was a strong smell of barbecue in the air. Moo, Rhino King was the worst one, he was splashed all over his body. He was swallowed up by the fire before even struggling. Even if you are immortal, you still have to shed your skin. But the smartest one is Exener. After being thrown down by Ru Bao, he quickly rushed towards the river not far away. His little hands subconsciously covered his mouth and nose. The one who is most familiar with this space is Shinner. After all, so many beatings are not in vain. But what she didn't know was that Li Dapeng had just brushed his teeth with water from that river. Elder brother. Ruishui saw her brother's miserable condition and rushed over, but was stopped by Zhang Yu. Asshole, scumbag, let me go. My brother has helped you find the Heartstone, why do you still want to attack him? Ruishui's eyes were red, and the look she looked at Zhang Yu was filled with hatred again. I'm sorry, your brother is too close to the Rhino King. I didn't mean to do it. Besides, you will get hurt if you go there. I want you to take care of it. Fire sets a prairie fire. The awakening factors in Ruishui's body surged out crazily as if she didn't want money. Then part of it condensed into a sky-high fire. The other part condensed into a storm, carrying the fierce fire and forming a 10-meter wide isolation zone around Ruishui, which made Zhang Yu retract his hand in a hurry. Is it a wind type plus fire type ability? Zhang Yu narrowed his eyes slightly, staring at Rui Shui's figure thoughtfully. Read the file. Before Rui Shui could even take 2 steps, Zhang Yu pointed one hand at Ru Bao, who was rolling on the ground, and instantly restored him to his previous state. You deliberately. Rui Shui looked a little ugly and said to Zhang Yu. Deliberately making me anxious and then using my powers. He already had a way to save his brother, but he delayed it for so long just to force himself to use his powers. You know, Rui Shui told everyone that she has fire powers, and only fire powers can save people in the fire. Okay, now everything is exposed. The annoyed Rui Shui stared at Zhang Yu's cold face, her mind racing for a moment. At this time, Zhang Yu was also thinking about whether to kill her or use her for himself. After all, it is the wind and fire system, and they can also be used together. What's more, Rui Shui is a very smart woman. If such a person becomes an enemy, the consequences for him will be unimaginable. Actually, I have had a crush on you for a long time. I came to the beast space this time to help you find something. I still have SS level fire type powers, which can help you in the martial arts competition. So, can I join your team now? Rui Shui noticed that Zhang Yu's expression was gradually becoming dangerous and spoke quickly, with a hint of pleading in her tone. He even gave out such weird reasons as having a secret love in order to survive. I'm afraid Zhang Yu will regard her as a threat and get rid of her in the next second. Haha, do you think I believe it? Zhang Yu smiled darkly when he heard this, and the golden light flashed in his hand, as if he was about to take action in the next second. This woman is so smart, she even knows how to endure humiliation and bear the burden. If I didn't have a handle on her, I really wouldn't dare to use it. Don't, I beg you, I have an 80-year-old grandmother to take care of at home, can you please let us go? We promise to take a detour when we see you in the future. But Zhang Yu ignored Rui Shui's pleading, took the holy sword from the stunned Zhang Han, and walked slowly towards Rui Shui. Trouble, you're not trustworthy, aren't you? Didn't you say that if we found the heart stone, we would let my sister go? Rui Bao, who had recovered, stepped in front of Rui Shui, glared and roared at Zhang Yu. Sorry, in the face of trustworthiness and my future personal safety, I still choose my own life. Read the file. Zhang Yu snapped his fingers, and Ru Bao's body was ignited with raging fire again. He fainted from the fever. Zhang Yu. Luo Yichang was about to say something, but she swallowed it after seeing Zhang Yu's cold eyes. Zhang Yu must have his reasons for doing this. What he has to do is support unconditionally, and his men must support unconditionally. Enough, you have delayed killing us for so long, don't you just want a handle to control me? Whatever you want, I'll give it to you directly. Rui Shui looked at her brother's miserable condition, her eyes were red and her tone was trembling. It's a pleasure to deal with smart people. Zhang Yu smiled brightly and immediately put away the holy sword. He took out his mobile phone from his trouser pocket, turned on the 4K high-definition photography function, and pointed at the woods behind him with his other hand. The smile gradually turned obscene. Snort. Rui Shui snorted coldly and walked towards the woods, followed closely by Zhang Yu who kept giggling. Leaving people who don't know why. Of course, except Li Dapeng, he understood instantly. After taking a few pleasing photos, Zhang Yu pulled Rui Shui out of the room while she was crying. Zhang Yu, let me see. After Li Dapeng waited for Zhang Yu to come out, he immediately stood up and surrounded him with a look of wretchedness on his face. Get out. Zhang Yu slapped Li Dapeng away and brought Rui Shui to the crowd. From today on, Rui Shui will be our new member. Everyone applauds. Bang bang. Except for Luo Yichang who pouted and put his hands on his hips, everyone else clapped their hands, even Zhang Han and Han Han were no exception. The good sister who was able to chat by herself was being held by Zhang Yu's hand. Sure enough, it is fireproof, anti-theft and anti-bestie. Zhang Yu let go of Rui Shui, walked over and rubbed Luo Yisheng's little head, and whispered a few words of comfort in her ear. Keep an eye on her from now on. She is both a teammate and an enemy. Zhang Yu, where did your Molotov cocktail come from? It's for multiple choice questions. Han Han. If you don't want to say it, don't say it. Why are you so perfunctory? Oh, by the way, where is Ruowa? A place 5 kilometers away from several people. Ruowa looked ugly and crawled towards Zhang Yu and the others while crying. Ah, someone come and save me, I can't crawl anymore. Zhang Yu was burned half dead and began to study the heartstone after Rubao read the file. Sister, what is the heartstone for? Zhang Yu lay on it and tinkered with it for a long time, but he didn't notice that this stone was any different from other stones. You'll know when the time comes. Just tell me, sister. No, I can't tell you now. This time, Zhang Yu's coquettishness rarely worked. I'm not happy to hear it yet. Zhang Yu pouted at Zhang Han arrogantly, and then asked Rubao to carry the heartstone on his shoulders. Let's go find your brother. Bring the Rhino King with you. Let's eat rhino meat tonight. Li Dapeng took out a long and thick hemp rope from his backpack, twisted it into a loop, and put it around the necks of Yang Jiwei's remaining younger brothers. Hollow red circle UDU . The scene was like walking a dog. Riverside. Exeter climbed out of the river with a look of exhaustion, her face was burnt black. I can't change back. Exeter quickly opened her clothes and took a look. Even the inside was burnt black. I'm disfigured. Those 4 big words lingered in her ears like a devil's whisper. Living king of hell, are you going to burn me to death as well? Angry, Exeter picked up a stick on the roadside and whipped it at the surrounding flowers and plants. Living king of hell, devil, he is not a human being. Every time someone curses, a row of flowers and plants suffer disaster. After venting her anger, Exeter felt much better. Forget it, can't that living king of hell recover? Just go and beg him. But, it should be easy for me to escape now. Should I run or not? I am also a person who has made great achievements, so there should be no reason for the living king of hell to torture me. Gone. No matter, take a gamble, as long as you can restore your appearance, even if you get beaten, it will be worth it. Thinking of this, Exeter's face was full of determination and she threw out the stick in her hand. What did you get on this stick? Sniff. Which person who has been stabbed 1,000 times would dip a stick in shit and play with it? You don't have to play anymore, do you? Exeter was so disgusted that she couldn't stop vomiting. While vomiting, she cursed and ran towards the river. I hated the person who dipped the stick in shit. By the time everyone found Ruowa, he was already dying. There were also several silly dogs lying on him that were licking him wildly. Court death. Ruishui raised her hand and threw out several wind blades. The stupid dogs were cut in half in an instant before they had time to react. Sister, come and help him recover. It's too long and I can't read the file. Okay, Holy Light Grace. With a look of disgust on his face, Zhang Han condensed the awakening factor in his hand into a holy light, and backed away a long way before throwing it at Ruowa. Under the illumination of the holy light, Ruowa's body healed at a speed visible to the naked eye. After about 3 minutes, Ruowa got up from the ground weakly. Where is this? Vomit. Sigma_Ka angle. Ruowa retched when he smelled his own scent and ran towards the river. Zhang Yu and the others followed him from a distance. Even Ruishui Rubao is like this. I can't have this brother anymore, it stinks. Not far away, Exeter, who had taken another bath, walked from the river humming a song. After smelling my little hands, well, it doesn't smell bad anymore. In order to find Zhang Yu quickly, she chose a small road. In order to restore his appearance as soon as possible, he is not even afraid of the beasts that often appear in the paths. Strange, why does this road smell bad? What kind of unhygienic beast is so impolite? He defecates everywhere. Exeter frowned, pinched her nose tightly with her hand, and fanned her nose with her other hand. Holy shit, BLCKMN. As soon as I turned the corner, I bumped into Ruowa, who was covered in shiete. Exeter. You are the BLCKMN, your whole family is BLCKMN. Vomit. Exeter cursed angrily. She was going crazy at this time. I just took a shower. Washed twice. Is it you? Why are you so dark? You still have the nerve to talk about me. Why do you stink so much? You must have been beaten by the Rhino King. Ruowa blushed, said no more, pushed Shinner away and ran towards the river behind. You still have the nerve to say it. Nothing good has ever happened to me since I met you. This time the society is dead again. With no time to think about this, Ruowa came to the river and plunged into it. Huo, the waves are quite big. I didn't expect your brother to be able to dive. Zhang Yu raised his eyebrows at Ruishui with a joking look on his face. Snort. Ruishui snorted and ignored him, but she hated him so much that her teeth itched in her heart. This fool, even if he takes photos of himself, he even records it. Brute. He even allowed himself to say that. Thinking of this, Ruishui wanted to chop him alive. Bear it. Sooner or later, he will come back with revenge. The living king of hell. Ah, Dad, can you change Exener back? What did you just call me? Dad, that's pretty much it. After hearing this, Zhang Yu smiled with satisfaction and raised his finger to restore Exener to her original appearance. Of course, it was only the physical condition that was restored, and the Xiete stained after being hit by Ruowa could not be eliminated. Exener opened her clothes and took a look, and sure enough, everything had returned to its original pink color. Excited, she quickly shouted, Zhang Yu's father is awesome. When Li Dapeng heard this, he immediately became unhappy. Are you calling him or not me? He immediately grinned and stared at Shinner with a fierce look on his face. You call me grandpa, or I'll kill you. Pa. Zhang Yu's sinuses went down, and Li Dapeng suddenly stopped talking. Hurry up and take a shower. Do you want to stink us all to death? After scolding Shinner, Zhang Yu kicked Li Dapeng to the ground. After riding on him, he slapped the bow left and right with 2 palms. Both hands swung out phantoms. Take advantage of me, right? Is it against you? The beating made Li Dapeng cry for his father and mother. Father Yu, I was wrong. ... After the two of them finished taking a bath, everyone had already set up the fire and processed the rhinoceros king's meat. When he was about to start baking, he realized that all the seasonings Li Dapeng had brought were used up. Yang Jiwei, helpless, everyone had to pack up the rhino king's meat and take it away. It's really disappointing. Let's go out and go to a restaurant. Li Dapeng rubbed his slightly red and swollen face, unluckily picked up the body of the rhinoceros king, and spoke to everyone. Huh, are you leaving now? How about we stop robbing? Bah, and find someone else to get some money to spend. Exener looked at this space with some reluctance. Who knows if Zhang Yu will throw her to the Zhenlong division to step on the sewing machine after leaving. You still have the nerve to mention it. Upon hearing this, the 3 Ruowa brothers and sisters were furious. What have you done to us? Don't you feel a little guilty in your heart? Especially Ruishui. She was so angry that she rushed over and beat Exener violently. If not for her, can I destroy my innocence? If it weren't for her, why would he be so miserable? Immediately afterwards, Ruowa and Rubao also joined the battle. The beating made Exener cry for a while. Exener was beaten for nearly half an hour. There is not a single spot in my body that is not swollen. But Exener couldn't help but didn't cry, she just screamed a few times. Exener, you're laughing so hard, it doesn't hurt at all. It's much easier than that of the living king of hell, okay. After the beating, Rubao felt physically and mentally comfortable, and even took the initiative to lift the rhinoceros king's body from Li Dapeng's hands with a smile on his face. Of course, this was the premise that he didn't know that his sister was photographed by Zhang Yu. No wonder that beast Zhang Yu likes to beat people so much. It turns out that beating someone who deceives him is so pleasurable. Rubao hummed a little tune in his mouth and thought to himself. ... It was already night when I left the beast space. Zhang Yu handed over Yang Jiwei's young men to the Zhenlong division, and then led everyone to the hot pot restaurant downstairs in the community under the resentful eyes of the Zhenlong division enforcers. Nima, it's almost time to get off work. Why did you bring so many people here for me? You are a dog. Come on, don't even get off work. Of course, Zhang Yu did not hand over Exener. After all, her appearance was of great use to Zhang Yu. As for Exener's revenge, haha, Zhang Yu is not afraid of revenge from people who have no brains, no strength, no talent. Waiter, bring me a clear soup pot and a knife. What are you talking about, riding on a horse? Can I give you a knife? Under the shocked gaze of the waiter, Zhang Yu slapped a large piece of Rhino King's meat on the table. As for the rest, he had already put away the rest. After all, he could only take what he ate. He was not the second-rate Li Dapeng who showed off all day long. Huh, how do you know that I killed a gold-level Rhino King? Everyone in Luo Yichang. Rhino King. That piece of meat belongs to the Rhino King. Which Rhino King? You're stupid, you must be the one in the silver level beast space. Really? As soon as Zhang Yu said this, everyone who was eating hot pot was instantly shocked. Fake, you can't detect the energy emitted by such a big piece of meat. Cool, it feels so good to appear holy in front of others. Listening to the whispers of the people around him, Zhang Yu felt like he was in high spirits. Okay, don't be in a daze, go get it quickly, and get some vegetarian dishes. By the way, there are a lot of girls. Zhang Han interrupted the shocked waiter, and then gently patted Zhang Yu's head, who was enjoying it with his eyes closed. Well, I'll go right away. After hearing Zhang Han's words, the waiter quickly patted his face to help him recover from the shock. Holy shit, that's really the meat of a gold-level rhinoceros king. If you can take a bite, your strength will definitely increase a lot. Thinking of this, the waiter who had just left came back, looked at the piece of meat and swallowed. Can you give me a bite later? Zhang Yu. Everyone. No, get out. Waiter. If you don't give it, you won't give it. Why are you still cursing? If you don't give it to me, I'll eat the rest of you later. Snort. Wait a minute, let's have some hot pot. Before the waiter could leave, Rubao waved at him and said. Spicy hot pot. Do you know how spicy his hot pot is? You want spicy hot pot? I won't give you any. I just want a clear soup pot. Spicy hot pot, my sister likes spicy food. Forehead. Ruishui, this girl still likes spicy food. Zhang Yu was in trouble for a while. Order the spicy hot pot, I can't eat it myself, if I can order something less spicy. Ruishui was once again threatened to join by taking photos of someone else's insemination. If you don't take care of your emotions, how can you make her work for him wholeheartedly? Betrayal by a teammate cannot be taken lightly. Zhang Yu glanced at Ruishui and saw that Ruishui still had the same cold expression. I've been sorry to her no matter what, so I'll just apologize once. Order something not spicy, just order something not spicy, Xiaoshenger can't eat spicy food. I can eat. After meeting Zhang Yu's eyes, Luo Yichang swallowed half of what he said. Sir, is there a possibility that our family has a Yuanyang hot pot? Forehead. Didn't you tell me earlier about riding a horse? Go, just order what you said. Zhang Yu glared at the waiter and waved his hand to drive him away. This waiter will never be able to eat 4 dishes in his life. When the waiter brought all the dishes, Sun Wenbin also took a knife and processed all the Rhino King's meat. This meat, why do I feel like my physical fitness has improved a little bit? As soon as Li Dapeng swallowed the meat, he felt an extra stream of heat in his body, which was strengthening his body. What's all the fuss about? Zhang Yu glanced at Li Dapeng with contempt, took a piece of meat from the pot and put it in his mouth. Hiss, this meat is so awesome. Everyone. As long as beast species reach the gold level, their bodies will begin to store energy. The longer time goes by, the more energy they will have in their bodies. This rhinoceros king should have just stepped into the golden age, and there is not much energy in the meat. Zhang Han picked up a chopstick of meat from the clear soup pot and put it into the bowl in front of Zhang Yu, and started to say. Brother, eating more will be good for you to improve your strength. Han gradually felt jealous when he saw his sister's behavior. I also want my sister to pick up some food for me. Zhang Yu took the chopsticks and picked up the meat in front of him. He didn't care whether it was hot or not, and just stuffed it into his mouth. Li Dapeng became anxious when he saw Zhang Yu's eating look. Pick up the chopsticks and put the meat into the clear soup pot. But after fishing for a long time, I finally caught a few wolfberries. All the meat was put into Zhang Yu's bowl by Zhang Han. Do not care. Li Dapeng saw that there was still a lot of meat in the spicy pot, so he stretched out his chopsticks and picked it up. I don't care if it's spicy or not, I just pick it out and stuff it into my mouth. Oh my god, water. Why is this so spicy? Li Dapeng picked up the kettle and poured it into his mouth. But the naughty waiter brought everyone freshly boiled hot water. As soon as the water was poured into his mouth, it was hot and spit out. In the end, I was stunned to take several bottles of mineral water from the counter and drink it to get some relief. Hiccup. Li Dapeng touched his belly, which was full from drinking water, and then looked at Zhang Yu and the others eating a lot of food. That decision was finally made. Li Dapeng raised his middle finger and ring finger, inserted them into his throat, and ran to the toilet. Hey, it's really embarrassing. After everyone had had their fill of wine and food, Sun Wenbin took the lead and ran to the front desk to check out. Zhang Yu took out his mobile phone and added Ruishui's WeChat account. Of course, he added it forcibly after she tried her best to resist but to no avail. If the captain sends you a message from now on, no matter what you are doing, you will hear it immediately, right? Chapter 41. Ruishui. AAA Lobster Snow Sister has approved your friend application. Quote. What the hell is this name? Sensing Zhang Yu's strange gaze, Ruishui's face turned red again. Why did I change my name to this on a whim? Now it's better, he died directly in front of his enemies. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. That's a good name. Zhang Yu raised his eyebrows at Ruishui teasingly, causing her little face to turn red again. Stop talking. Okay, after the Los Angeles game, you will officially become a teammate fighting alongside us. Don't live up to my expectations of you. Otherwise. After saying that, Zhang Yu waved his cell phone at Ruishui for a few moments, then took Luo Yichang and the others back to their respective homes. Ruishui was left with an ugly face. Little sister, what's going on? What did he say to you when I was burned unconscious by that beast? After Zhang Yu and others left, Rubao asked Ruishui with a heavy face. You are also threatened by him if you join his team, right? It's all my fault. If I had known earlier I wouldn't have come to the beast space to find the heart stone. Ruo's face on the side was full of regret. If he hadn't been thinking about finding some heart stone, he wouldn't have encountered this kind of thing. No, brother, he just took a fancy to my talent and wanted me to join them. Besides, I also need a group of capable teammates, and they are just right. Everyone gets what they need, it's all for the National Martial Arts Competition. Really, although the Ruowa brothers were still a little suspicious, they probably couldn't get anything out of her. My little sister is smarter than me, and she will handle things better than me. Simply, let her do it. The two brothers can just support silently from behind. By the time Zhang Yu returned home, it was already 10:30 in the evening. Zhang Tiancheng waited at the door of his house with his newly purchased belt, waiting for Zhang Yu's return. Click. As the sound of a key being inserted into the door lock came, the 7 wolves in Zhang Tiancheng's hand had already been raised halfway. Sister, do you believe it or not, as soon as I open the door, Dad will be sitting on the sofa waiting for me with the 7 wolves. The key had just been turned halfway when Zhang Yu suddenly had a bad feeling. Then I'll go in first to persuade Dad, and you can come in after Dad's anger subsides. Thank you, sister. As the door opened, Zhang Tiancheng's 7 wolves suddenly fell down. Is it Zhang Han? Not that brat Zhang Yu. Zhang Tiancheng was startled and quickly broke the belt he was holding. I almost made a big mistake. Xiao Han, where is that brat? Zhang Han was startled when he saw the belt in front of him. Fortunately, he came in first, otherwise his brother would have been beaten. Hey, Grandpa is here. You actually want to hit my sister. I just recorded the video and will send it to my mother later. I'm just saying that you beat a sibling severely without asking any questions. Zhang Yu put away his phone and secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, he turned on the video in advance. Otherwise, his father would have been furious because he almost hit the wrong person. And the situation is indeed as Zhang Yu said, Zhang Tiancheng is already very angry. This brat got smart again, and this time he asked Xiao Han to open the door. I almost made a typo. It seems like I have to choose a different place to beat him next time. I have to spank your ass. Angry, Zhang Tiancheng waved his belt and wanted to teach Zhang Yu a lesson. But Zhang Yu is very clever. After hearing these words, he immediately hid in Zhang Han's arms. Zhang Han also opened his arms very cooperatively, as if protecting a chicken. Dad, I asked my brother to go to the beast dimension with me. If you want to hit me, hit me. Do you think I'm stupid? It's only been 2 days since he awakened his powers, and you'll take the initiative to take him to the beast space. This kid must have used some trick to force him to go with you. Zhang Han's face turned red when her lie was exposed, and she subconsciously touched her nose. My sister is still too pure, she can't even make up a lie. Look at yourself, you can tell lies without blushing. As a sister, just spoil him as hard as you can. You're not doing this for him, you're harming him, do you understand? Don't you know how high the mortality rate is in the beast space? Zhang Tiancheng's words made Zhang Han feel ashamed. But it also made her deeply aware of her mistakes. Her brother acted coquettishly and said a few nice words to her, and she softened her heart, completely forgetting that he was just a child who had just awakened his powers. What if she encounters a strong person who can't even run away from her? Dad, I know I was wrong. Zhang Han lowered his head in shame and looked at Zhang Yu in his arms fondly. Loving him means letting him grow up safely and happily, rather than coddling him or letting him go. Zhang Yu, it's over, I can no longer let my sister take me out for fun. Well, Xiaohan, you are a good boy. If this brat was half as obedient as you, I wouldn't have to worry. With that said, Zhang Tiancheng gave Zhang Yu a fierce look. You are not allowed to go to the beast space until you go to college. You don't need to work hard to improve your strength. Your father and your mother are both masters. If the sky falls, it won't be your turn to carry it. Zhang Yu pursed his lips and muttered in a low voice, if I don't improve my strength, what if I get bullied? You won't let me claim your name. From today on, you can name me, your mother, and your grandfather as you please. As long as you don't go to the beast space, anything is easy. Zhang Yu's eyes lit up when he heard this. He will be called the #1 tyrant in Luo City again in the future. This is what you said. Don't go back on it. Zhang Tiancheng suddenly had a bad premonition, and just when he was thinking about whether to tell him to stop causing trouble, Zhang Yu had already rushed to his bedroom. After opening the phone, I found several more messages. Xiaohan Xiaoguaiguai. You don't have to come to school tomorrow. Zhang Yu. Han changed his name. Is this it? But this is not the point. Don't want to come tomorrow. Zhang Yu. Are you going to give us a day off tomorrow? Xiaohan Xiaoguaiguai. That's pretty much what it means. Tomorrow the principals of other universities and the head teachers of the 3rd grade of high school will come to visit our school. The principal said that he would hide his strength for the time being, so he won't let you come, including Zhang Yi from your class. ... Good guy, is this a war situation? In terms of being smart, it has to be the principal. Zhang Yu began to mourn for the other colleges and universities in his heart. It would be his 8th lifetime to meet such a scheming old man. Zhang Yu then thought of something again, smiled obscenely, and found the principal's contact information from the address book on his phone. Afraid that the principal would fall asleep and not reply to messages, Zhang Yu made a phone call without saying a word. Hey, are you the principal? I'm Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu, why do you want to see me in the middle of the night? Hey principal, you don't want other schools to know the true strength of our school, right? Headmaster. There was silence on the other end of the phone for 2 seconds. Tell me, how much do you want this time? 100,000. 100,000. 10,000 at most. Do you want love? If not, just tell the truth. Moreover, after all the universities know about it, they will unite to suppress you. You guys have figured it out. Zhang Yu cursed this old fox in his heart. Give me 200,000, and I'll dig up Ruishui for you who has awakened the SS level firepower in the 3rd middle school. How about that? Is this true? You can hear the principal's excited tone through the phone. Certainly. Okay, I'll hit you with 200,000 yuan tomorrow. Poor Ruishui didn't know that she had been sold by Zhang Yu for 200,000 yuan. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Yu threw himself on the bed, covered himself with a quilt and fell asleep. Morning. Today's Luo City is much warmer than before. The sunlight shines through the translucent glass windows and falls on Zhang Yu's bedside. Zhang Yu felt a burst of warmth in his sleep. He kicked off the quilt covering his body and curled up in the sun. But the place where the sun shines is next to the bed. Boom! Zhang Yu turned around casually and fell off the bed, falling so hard that he was lying on his back. Oh shit, I've done a lot of bad things lately, and I'm getting retribution for this. Hearing the noise, Zhang Han quickly ran over from the kitchen, picked up Zhang Yu, who fell to the ground, and put him back on the bed. He also covered him with a quilt thoughtfully. Smelly brother, you are not honest when sleeping, and you can even fall down on yourself. Let's sleep a little longer. Food will have to wait for a while. Zhang Yu nodded vaguely, and then fell asleep again. Finally, I couldn't bear the hunger anymore, so I lifted up the quilt and got up from the bed. Sister, hungry, rice. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Han, who was taking out the dishes from the kitchen, rolled his eyes at Zhang Yu. Go, don't act coquettishly, wash your hands quickly. Zhang Yu was stunned when he heard this. What the? Was it me who acted coquettishly just now? Why did you start acting like a spoiled child subconsciously? Depend on. Could it be that Zhang Han has been acting coquettishly too much recently? Zhang Yu twisted his face hard and warned himself that grown men cannot act coquettishly. After eating lunch prepared by Zhang Han himself, Zhang Yu took Li Dapeng and walked outside the community. Dapeng, let me ask you a question. What's the first thing a poor person does when he becomes rich? Of course it's eating, drinking and whoring. Wrong. Li Dapeng glanced at Zhang Yu in confusion. What is that? Stupid, of course you have to become rich first. Li Dapeng, I'm asking you a question. What's the first thing a poor man does when he becomes powerful? Do you need to become powerful first? Li Dapeng answered somewhat uncertainly. Wrong again. Question mark. Of course it's eating, drinking and whoring. Li Dapeng, Zhang Yu, are you making fun of me? If you are making a joke like this that makes me look stupid, I won't play with you. Zhang Yu patted Li Dapeng on the shoulder. It's too small, the pattern is too small. Let's go find number 8. Your brother Yu is treating me today. Li Dapeng, real, why are you lying to me? After receiving the accurate information, Li Dapeng shouted, long live brother Yu. The sluggish aura from his body was swept away, and he carried Zhang Yu on his back and rushed to the massage parlor. How many gentlemen are there? Both of you. Li Dapeng, who was tired from running, took a deep breath and said to the waiter. Call brother Yu over on the 8th and give me a full set. And your number 3, let's get a full set too. Okay, sir, please come upstairs, bring your cards with you. The waiter's eyes lit up. A big customer came. This time I can get a lot of commission. After the two of them lay on the bed, the number 8 portable toolbox opened the door and entered. I haven't seen you for a long time, little brother. Are you finally willing to visit your sister? That's right, I miss my sister so much. I saw the young lady named number 8 kneeling in front of Zhang Yu's bed, holding his feet in her arms, and gently taking off his shoes and socks. Not to mention that he is the trump card here. His kneeling posture is more skillful than others, just like in those island country movies. Number 8 looked at the defenseless Zhang Yu in front of him, with a hint of murderous intent flashing in his eyes. But she was soon suppressed again. So this murderous intention turned into motivation, and Zhang Yu was beaten until he couldn't stand it. It took more than 2 hours before Zhang Yu and Li Dapeng got up from the bed. Sir, you spent a total of 2,500 this time. Did you swipe your card or scan the QR code? You said you want to charge me money. Otherwise, the waiter glanced at Zhang Yu speechlessly. Don't you know who I am? You have to pay even if I'm the king of heaven and I come down to earth today. Zhang Yu put his hands behind his back and looked out the window at the young lady in black stockings with a hint of silence in his eyes. My father is Grand Master Zhang Tiancheng. Do you dare to accept my money? Li Dapeng, good guy. Even if Uncle Zhang agrees with you using his name, you can't use it like this. In his name, no money for massage. What about those young ladies? What do they eat and drink? Waiter, no, is this person sick? You have a Grandmaster Dad and you use it like this. It turns out to be Master Zhang. Please wait a moment. I'll notify our manager right away. Although he was cursing in his heart, his attitude was more respectful than before. Within a few minutes, the manager, who was halfway through playing mahjong, quickly got dressed and walked over to the two of them. Master Yang's arrival really makes this humble house shine, blah blah blah. The manager said a lot of compliments, but Zhang Yu didn't listen to a word. All he knew was that Luo Yichang would take him shopping in half an hour. Manager, if there's nothing else, we'll leave first. We have something urgent at hand. Zhang Yu waved his hand, interrupted the manager who was about to speak, and walked out with Li Dapeng. Okay, I'll drive you. The manager said. By the time Zhang and the two returned to the downstairs of the community, it was already 20 minutes later. Luo Yichang rarely put on some light makeup and was waiting at the door of Zhang Yu's house early. Zhang Yu, didn't you say you were at home? You are. Zhang Yu and the two men just went upstairs and saw Luo Yichang waiting at the door of his house. Well, let's go down. We went down for a walk and just came back. Dog, where did the dog come from? Luo Yichang walked up to Zhang Yu and sniffed with his nose full of suspicion. The dog downstairs in the community is the one that comes downstairs and wags its tail at us every day. Fortunately, I was smart and went to the public toilet when I passed by. Zhang Yu secretly rejoiced. Li Dapeng on the side was dumbfounded. Brother Yu was really prepared for a rainy day. No wonder he had to drag himself to the public toilet every time he came out. It turned out that he was guarding against this move. Oh, hurry up and change your clothes, they're all smelly. Luo Yichang glanced at Zhang Yu with slight disgust, and lightly flapped her little nose twice with her hand. After Zhang Yu and Li Dapeng finished changing their clothes, the three of them got into Fu Bo's car and set off to the mall. At this time, in the massage parlor, number 3, who was informed that this was for nothing, scolded Zhang Yu and the two in his heart. Why are these two fools so shameless, even doing this for nothing? On the other hand, number 8 said nothing and was minding his own business on his phone. It seems like he is not interested in money. Zhang Yu, do you think this skirt looks good? After changing clothes from the locker room, Luo Yichang walked around in front of Zhang Yu and asked him. Well, these legs are really white. No. This skirt is really white and beautiful. Luo Yichang rolled her eyes at Zhang Yu with a charming look, turned around and was about to take off her skirt and let the waiter put it on. Don't change, just wear this one, it's fine. Should it be said, Luo Yisheng wore light makeup and paired it with a white dress, showing off the youthfulness of a girl. So gorgeous. Okay, I won't change it then. Miss, please give me the one I changed before. Okay. When the two came out of the store, Li Dapeng was sitting on the stone steps at the door with 3 cups of milk tea, already sweating profusely from waiting. You guys figured it out, I can hardly hold it in anymore. Li Dapeng quickly stuffed the milk tea into Zhang Yu's hands and ran anxiously towards the public toilet not far away. What's wrong with Li Dapeng? Luo Yichang asked. I don't know, it must be diarrhea. Get out of the way, everyone, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Li Dapeng, whose face turned red from holding back the pressure, pushed aside those waiting in line and rushed to the toilet. But what Li Dapeng didn't expect was that there were so many people inside. Get started, I can't hold it any longer, let me go first. Li Dapeng yelled and jumped in line directly in front of the person in the front row. You're just in a hurry, but everyone else isn't in a hurry. Yes, young man, it's rude to jump in line. The people lining up around him all condemned Li Dapeng. Someone even pulled him to try to pull him out. Shut up, everyone, my dad is the master. Get up and let me go first. The frustrated Li Dapeng covered Hu Chu tightly and shouted at everyone. People around, no one can go to the restroom and bring out his grandmaster father to jump in line. Little brother, don't get me wrong, please treat this shit first. The man who just dragged Li Dapeng apologized to him quickly. Gee, is this the overwhelming feeling of the background? It's so cool. Li Dapeng nodded, gave the person who just spoke an appreciative look, and then knocked on the door of the cubicle. The brothers inside come out first, let me pull first. Roll, ouch, what the? Li Dapeng rolled up his sleeves and continued to yell at the people inside. Hurry up and let me pull you out first. My dad is the master. What's wrong, Grandmaster? The Grandmaster's son queues up to poop. Who is this? The brothers inside turned red with anger and wanted to stick their butts out and pull them onto Li Dapeng's feet. What happened to Grandmaster? His dad is still a diamond. But if you listen carefully, this voice sounds familiar. You won't come out, right? If you don't come out, then don't blame me. Gia. Groove. Is it Li Dapeng? Hearing this familiar laughter, Zhang Yi inside was frightened from constipation to diarrhea. Such a coincidence. Can we meet each other by chance in a public restroom? Since it is Li Dapeng outside. This shit doesn't have to be pooped. Thinking of this, Zhang Yi quickly pulled up his pants without even having time to wipe them, with a flattering smile on his face, opened the door and walked out. Brother Peng, it turns out to be you. What a coincidence, haha. Brother Peng, have you eaten? If not, I'll treat you to dinner. Li Dapeng, did you ask someone to have a meal in the bathroom? Roll. Pulling Zhang Yi away, Li Dapeng squatted down anxiously. If he couldn't hold it in any more, he would have to give Zhang Yi another meal. Cool. When the three of them met again, they were in a pet store. Zhang Yu was holding a cat teasing stick and was teasing the little tabby who had been released from the cage with an excited look on his face. Meow. Looking at Zhang Yu's waving cat stick in his hand, the little tabbies were aloof and ignored Zhang Yu. Hee, what did you do with Xiao Yu? Just tease me. After playing for a while, the little tiger spot remained unmoved, and Zhang Yu also lost some interest. Hey, is this kitten quite a snob? Li Dapeng also picked up a cat teasing stick from the counter next to him and waved it in front of the little tabby twice. The little tabby still ignored him. My dad is a grandmaster. How dare you ignore me? Li Dapeng stuck his butt out, leaned into the kitten's ear and spoke softly. He also seemed to know that saying this to a kitten would make him look awkward. Zhang Yu, Luo Yisheng, the lady in the store. The pet shop is not big, but Li Dapeng's words still reached everyone's ears clearly. Don't get me wrong, there is something wrong with my brother. Zhang Yu pointed to his head and quickly pulled Luo Yichang to the side, acting as if he didn't know him. How embarrassing. Even Zhang Yu, who had a face as good as a city wall, blushed at this moment. Meow. The little tabby couldn't bear it anymore and finally scratched Li Dapeng's face with his paw. Hiss. Li Dapeng covered his face with his scratched hands and quickly walked to the young lady who was holding a mirror to put on makeup for the interview. He grabbed the small mirror used for makeup. Just take a photo of the scratched area. Luckily I'm thick-skinned and not disfigured. Li Dapeng breathed a long sigh of relief and glared at the little tabby, dead cat. You are so fierce, no wonder no one wants you. Hearing this, the little tabby jumped more than 1 meter high and slapped Li Dapeng in the face. You still want to scratch me, do you really think I'm easy to bully? Li Dapeng had quick eyes and quick hands and grabbed the little tabby's neck collar. Seeing this scene, Zhang Yu and the two men covered their faces. So shameful, this guy actually got into a fight with a cat. Ding, congratulations to the host for triggering the selection task. While Zhang Yu was covering his face, the system, which he hadn't seen for a long time, once again sent a mission reward. 1. Buy the kitten and let it follow you willingly. Reward. 7 wolves times 1. Note, this is not an ordinary 7 wolves. 2. Help Li Dapeng bully the kitten and punch and kick it. Earn the award title, the dog that was not a human being. People will often throw you a bone on the street. 3. Kowtow to the kitten on behalf of Li Dapeng to apologize. Obtain reward. Mother's heart. Note, have a kind heart for all life. Zhang Yu. Okay, no need to worry this time, just choose the first one. After selecting the task, Zhang Yu used his consciousness to check the system in his mind in confusion. Sure enough, the shape is the same as that necklace. System, what the hell are you? Ding, the system is not a thing. Who sent you to find me? Ding, no one sent me. Who is nobody? Ding, the system was silent for a moment and ignored him. No matter how he asked, there was no reply. Mean, Zhang Yu muttered, stepped forward and pulled off the little tabby who was riding on Li Dapeng's head and was frantically slapping his sinuses. Miss, how much does this little tabby cost? Handsome man, our kittens are all purebred. Look at the color of their hair and their lively spirit. Just tell me, how much is it? 6,000. Zhang Yu nodded and didn't bargain. He picked up his cell phone and called Sun Wenbin. After a while, Sun Wenbin rushed over and quickly paid for Zhang Yu. Little fool, come with me. I'll give you dried fish to eat when I go back. Zhang Yu held the collar of the little tabby's neck and showed what he thought was a kind smile. Meow. The little tabby turned his head humanely, with a bit of arrogance on his face. It seems to be saying, human being, just a few small dried fish want to take me away. What a joke. Come with me and eat the dried fish to keep you satisfied, and eat the cat sticks as you like. How about you? Zhang Yu twisted the little tabby's head so that it faced him. Meow. The little tabby turned his head to the other side again. Yo, still a proud kitten. Zhang Yu picked up a kitten doll from the counter table and kneaded the doll into a ball in front of little tabby. Then he fell hard to the ground. The little tabby trembled in fright. Anyway, I paid. If you don't come with me, you will end up like him. As he spoke, Zhang Yu punched the kitten doll on the ground again. Meow. This man must be a devil. The little tabby was so frightened that his whole body trembled with fear. There was a look of fear in his pupils, and even his screams became much docile. I can't tell, you are still a clip cat. Zhang Yu reached out and scratched the little tabby's chin. The little tabby behaved extremely well behaved this time. No matter how Zhang Yu played with it, it wouldn't get angry. Ding. You are a real dog. Zhang Yu. The system scolded me. Ding. The purpose of the mission is for the host to influence the cat with love, not with threats. Ding. Because the completion of the host's mission does not match the setting, the functions of the 7 wolves have changed. Ding. The reward has been distributed. Yeah, Zhang Yu, give me a hug. Luo Yichang crossed his hands and fingers on his chest, blinked at Zhang Yu with his big eyes, his face full of joy. Zhang Yu scratched his head, walked to Luo Yichang with some doubts, and then held her in his arms. Strange, why is Xiao Shenger so bold? Yeah, I want to hug little tabby. Luo Yichang felt the strong chest of the man in front of her, and her face instantly turned red. Although this feeling made her enjoy it in her heart, it was in public after all. She is not as thick-skinned as Li Dapeng. Huh, oh, I thought. Zhang Yu picked up the little tabby and put it in Luo Yichang's arms, then turned around to check on the 7 wolves. 7 wolves. This was made by a loving father specifically for his disobedient children. Hitting it on the body can make it feel the feeling of father's love like a mountain. Note, a spank on the butt hurts twice as much and feels twice as bad. Don't use it to do shameful things. No level restrictions. Hiss, father's love is like a mountain of 7 wolves. Experience the feeling of a father's love like a mountain. No level restrictions yet. Zhang Yu looked at the explanations of the 7 wolves and fell into deep thought. Does the lack of level restrictions mean that it will be effective even if it hits a strong man like his father? Did I let my dad experience the feeling of a father's love like a mountain? Thinking of this, Zhang Yu's eyes were filled with excitement, and he turned to look at Li Dapeng, who was chatting with the clerk. Don't worry, little sister, as long as you agree to be my girlfriend, I will definitely treat you well and be dedicated to you in the future. But, we just met a few hours ago, what if you are a liar? I thought that my Grandmaster father's reputation guaranteed that everything I said was the truth. The young lady is full of tangles at the moment. Although he is not good-looking, fat, has a bad voice, and speaks more straightforwardly. But he has a Grandmaster father. After struggling for a long time, the young lady gritted her teeth and said, then will you really be good to me in the future? Don't worry, if I treat you badly, I will kneel down and call you daddy. Li Dapeng put on a pose that he thought was very handsome. At this time, Zhang Yu was coming behind Li Dapeng with the 7 wolves. Raise your right hand hard. He slapped Li Dapeng's ass hard enough. Pa, ah, Li Dapeng howled, and his mind instantly flashed back to the time when his father made a mistake as a child and beat him with the 7 wolves. Seeing his father getting closer and closer to him with the 7 wolves in hand, for some reason, there was a trace of expectation in his heart. The 7 wolves of my father in my mind finally fell away, as if they had returned to my father's arms. This is the taste of daddy. In reality, Li Dapeng's legs went weak, a strange blush appeared on his face, and he knelt down in front of the clerk. Dad, I was wrong, please encourage me. Shopkeeper. Zhang Yu. Holy shit, holy shit. Does the belt remind you of your father? This is simply a heifer sitting on an arrow piercing the clouds, the cow batch explodes to the sky. Zhang Yu gave 10 thumbs up to the artifact of the 7 wolves. No, what if your father has never beaten you with 7 wolves since you were a child? Thinking of this, Zhang Yu glanced at Luo Yichang. Luo Yichang, who was watching the excitement, shivered suddenly. Li Dapeng, what the hell, why do you suddenly think of your father? And he even knelt down. Groove. It was that Zhang Yu who did it. Li Dapeng wanted to get up, but as long as he moved a little, the place where he was hit by the 7 wolves was burning and painful. He was in so much pain that he couldn't even stand up. Humph, you scumbag, liar, you must be punished. The young lady snorted coldly and walked aside with a look of disgust on her face. Li Dapeng, Zhang Yu, let me die again. It took a while for Li Dapeng to feel the pain disappear. Zhang Yu put the belt into his backpack and walked quietly behind Luo Yichang. Just when Zhang Yu was about to launch a sneak attack on her, Luo Yichang suddenly turned around. Smelly Zhang Yu. Are you trying to cause trouble? Groove, discovered. Zhang Yu quickly took out the hand that was reaching for his backpack and held the back of his head with both hands, pretending that it was none of my business. No, how could I do anything bad to the cute little Chenger? HMPH. Luo Yichang snorted coldly, but didn't care about anything, just patted Zhang Yu's head gently. Okay, let's go. Luo Yichang took Zhang Yu's arm and held the little tabby with the other hand. Followed by the resentful Li Dapeng, the 3 of them walked out of the pet shop together. As for Sun Wenbin, who had finished paying, he had the foresight to go back long ago. By the way, Zhang Yu, let's give this little tabby a name. Zhang Yu nodded. How about calling it a hammer? Meow, little tabby barked softly to express his dissatisfaction. No, it's too unpleasant. Even cats and cats don't agree with it. It's called and it's just a sister. How can it be called hammer? Luo Yichang rejected the name without even thinking about it. Kittens will be sad when they grow up. Then call me Hammer Mom. Li Dapeng interrupted. Luo Yichang hit him on the head with a bang. I can't bear to hit Zhang Yu, but I can't bear to hit you anymore. How about, call me Xiao Xiao? No, this name is too literary and not suitable for a kitten like this. Meow. Hearing Zhang Yu's refusal, little tabby became anxious on the spot. That's it, don't start it again, it's getting more and more outrageous. It's really hard, otherwise I'd call it Li Dapeng. Li Dapeng, you are a real dog. In the end, with the hard work of the 3 of them, the little tabby got a new name, Xiao Xiao, from today on. It was already evening by the time Zhang Yu and the others came out of the pet shop. As the sun sets, a touch of red glow is reflected in the sky, which looks very romantic. Luo Yichang held Zhang Yu's sleeve with her left hand and held the new member Xiao Xiao in her arms. The 2 took a walk under the sunset, petting the cat. The only fly in the ointment is that Li Dapeng is following behind him. Gee, this light bulb is so ignorant. Luo Yichang complained in her heart. I should have known better than to ask him to come. Because of Li Dapeng's presence, the relationship between the 2 did not develop further. After going to a fried chicken restaurant and giving him a good beating, the 3 of them went home. It's broken. I forgot to buy you a cage. Xiao Xiao. After returning home, Zhang Yu found that he had bought nothing except Xiao Xiao in his hand. Forget it, let's find something to live with for 2 days. Zhang Yu took out the box from the bedroom where he had finished drinking milk, and then took out the mink he had just bought from his father's house and put it into the box. This will keep you warm. Xiao Xiao didn't show any pretense, she just got into the box and stretched inside. How do you like it? Feel comfortable. My dad said that this mink is such a good thing that even he is reluctant to wear it. Meow. Xiao Xiao let out a happy cry, lying on the marten and narrowing her eyes. You're so good, come here and give me a couple of jerks. Zhang Yu chuckled and reached out to touch Xiao Xiao. Meow. Xiao Xiao didn't dare to resist, and moved her head slightly towards Zhang Yu's direction, purring in her throat. Smelly brother, where are you going to play this afternoon? Zhang Han came in carrying a bag of vegetables. Kitten. Xiao Xiao's eyes lit up when she saw the box, and she quickly put the dishes in her hands into the kitchen. What a cute little kitten. How many months old is it? Zhang Han stretched out his hand and wanted to scratch Xiao Xiao's chin twice. Meow. Xiao Xiao turned her head away and returned to her usual arrogance when facing Zhang Han. This little kitten is quite arrogant. Be good, let sister touch it, and sister will cook fish for you tonight. When she heard that there was fish to eat, Xiao Xiao raised her little head slightly, but she still had that arrogant look on her face. Xiao Xiao, you have to listen to your sister, otherwise I will kill you, hee hee. Zhang Yu smiled evilly at Xiao Xiao, scaring it so much that it nodded wildly. Zhang Han was stunned by its humanistic appearance. After handing Xiao Xiao to Zhang Han, Zhang Yu returned to his room to give Rui Shui some psychological counseling. Zhang Yu, are you there? Zhang Yu, where are the people? Are you here? After about 10 minutes, seeing that Rui Shui still didn't reply to the message, Zhang Yu directly sent 2 pictures to her. Zhang Yu sent 2 pictures. On the other side, Rui Shui, who was lying next to the hospital bed and was awakened by the ringing of her cell phone, picked up her cell phone and looked at the messages on it. Her eyes were red with anger. But who gave Zhang Yu any leverage? After she regained consciousness, she quickly replied. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. I'm here, I just fell asleep. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to not reply on time. My good granddaughter, don't be anxious when something happens. There will always be a way from the car to the mountain. You have been smart since you were a child. If grandma is gone, you must learn to be steady. The grandma who was lying on the hospital bed noticed that Rui Shui's face was a little ugly, so she gently held her hand and comforted her. Well, grandma, don't talk nonsense, you will definitely succeed in the operation tomorrow. Last night, the 3 Rui Shui siblings received a critical illness notice from the hospital just after they returned home. Grandma's health, which had been improving, suddenly deteriorated, and surgery needed to be arranged as soon as possible. An operation with a success rate of less than 30%. Upon hearing the news, Rui Shui's heart twitched and she almost fainted from the shock. Hey, no one can escape birth, old age, illness and death. Grandma is already very content with watching Xiao Shui grow up and go to high school. By the way, Xiao Shui, isn't your eldest brother chasing a girl? Have you caught up with her now? Thinking of Zhang Han's current attitude towards her elder brother, Rui Shui opened her mouth and didn't know how to answer. You must have failed to catch up, your eldest brother, with his thick head, still wants to catch up with this girl. Grandma's words contained a tone of resentment. Zhang Yu saw Rui Shui's humble apology and did not threaten her again. Zhang Yu, you apply for transfer and come to No. 1 Middle School. AAA Lobster Sister Shui, go to No. 1 Middle School. Our principal wouldn't agree. Zhang Yu, it's okay. You can just apply normally and leave the rest to me. Rui Shui was silent for a long time. It doesn't matter where she goes to No. 1 Middle School or No. 3 Middle School, but now Zhang Yu seems to want to be with her. I want to ask her. Time is. Rui Shui turned to look at her grandma lying on the hospital bed. Her thoughts changed and there was hope in her eyes. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. Yes, but I have a request. Zhang Yu, it's impossible to delete the photos. I still have to enjoy them myself. Rui Shui was so angry at these words that she almost smashed her phone, but due to the safety of her grandma's surgery, she still endured it. This, a scumbag. Rui Shui cursed Zhang Yu in her heart, but the tone of her reply was still the same humble tone. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. No, my grandma is going to have surgery tomorrow, and the success rate is only 30%. Can you please help? Grandma needs surgery. Zhang Yu frowned. Okay, come to me tomorrow with the transfer application form. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. Thank you so much. Rui Shui was deeply relieved after receiving Zhang Yu's approval, and then her face was full of joy. She was even ready to come to Zhang Yu's house to beg him. As long as grandma's operation was successful, Zhang Yu would do anything he asked her to do. But what makes Rui Shui more confused is that Zhang Yu is so easy to talk to this time. Is this still the living king of hell in her heart? Little did I know. In the middle of the night, a young man sat up from the bed and slapped himself hard. I really deserve to die. Thinking of Rui Shui taking care of her seriously ill grandma all by herself, while he took her photos to threaten her and bully her. How helpless she must be, so broken. Regretful, Zhang Yu immediately opened the photo and wanted to delete all the threats to her. But, looking at the crying and ragged Rui Shui in the photo, I still didn't take action. I'm really not a thing. How could I give up a smart and beautiful teammate because of the kindness in my heart? Thinking of this, Zhang Yu no longer felt guilty or blamed himself, and lay down on the bed to sleep. And I slept very soundly. The only drawback was that I dreamed of a kitten pooping on my dad's clothes. Morning. Who pooped on my mink? Meow. Zhang Yu was woken up by a piercing scream. When he got up, Zhang Tiancheng blushed angrily, held his mink and roared angrily. There was a black stuff on the mink. Zhang Yu, brat, you must have brought this cat back. I have to let you relive your childhood today. With that said, an angry Zhang Tiancheng skillfully pulled out the 7 wolves from his waist. But who is Zhang Yu? Seeing Zhang Tiancheng pull out his belt, he also took out 7 wolves from his backpack and hid them behind him. Come on, will your father hurt you? Zhang Tiancheng pointed the belt at him, slapped it hard into the air, made a snap sound, and walked towards Zhang Yu in shame and anger. You brat, I have to let you recall your childhood today. But before he took 2 steps, Zhang Tiancheng was stopped by Zhang Han, who heard the voice. Dad, you misunderstood my brother. I raised this cat, and I also got your clothes. If you want to fight, just hit me. After saying that, Zhang Han opened his hands to protect Zhang Yu. You can raise it. Zhang Tiancheng didn't believe it. But it's normal for little girls to like cats and dogs, but the clothes can't just be forgotten. The daughter is reluctant to spank, but she is also reluctant to spank her son. You brat, your sister has a cat and you don't know how to buy a cat litter box. I have to let you relive your childhood. Zhang Yu, he is really his biological father, and his stepfather cannot do such a thing at all. Taking advantage of the stalemate between Zhang Tiancheng and Zhang Han, Zhang Yu took the opportunity to walk around the 2 of them, raising the 7 wolves in his hand. Hee, Daddy wants you to relive your childhood. Snapped. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Tiancheng's mind instantly pictured his father holding 7 wolves. You, I'm in a bad mood. Come here and give me a few puffs to make me feel better. Plop. Zhang Tiancheng's legs went weak, and he felt a burning pain in his butt. Dad, don't fight, I was wrong. Zhang Han. Zhang Tiancheng, what the hell? The brat slapped me and I knelt on the ground and called Daddy. Moreover, the appearance of Grandpa Zhang Yu also appeared in his mind. Is it the 7 wolves? When Zhang Tiancheng came back to his senses, he suddenly became angry with shame. I suffered from my son's 7 wolves. When I was a kid, I wasn't as brave as you. You were really my good son. Dad, I was just kidding you, don't be angry. Zhang Yu smiled shyly, picked up Xiao Xiao and ran out the door. You, don't run away, hiss. Zhang Tiancheng wanted to get up and chase him, but the burning wound on his butt made him grin. But Zhang Tiancheng was a master after all, and his endurance was far inferior to that of Li Dapeng. He gritted his teeth and endured the pain, and pulled Zhang Yu back after he had just run a few steps. Bunny, your belt is quite powerful. Let me use it. Regardless of Zhang Yu's objection, Zhang Tiancheng snatched the belt from his hand. Just when he was about to attack Zhang Yu, there was a knock on the door. Come in, the door is unlocked. Ruishui, who hadn't slept all night, pushed open the door and walked in. As soon as she entered, she saw Zhang Tiancheng pressing Zhang Yu on the sofa, taking off his pants, and raising the belt in his hand. Paw, hiss, slot, load the file. Although he used the file loader to restore his physical condition, the fear in his heart did not dissipate at all. Dad, I was wrong, stop fighting. Ruishui rubbed her eyes, huh. Is this idiot getting a beating? And he was beaten and called Daddy. This. What a joy. My classmate is here, don't beat me up, save some face. Zhang Tiancheng looked at Ruishui, who looked stunned and couldn't hold back her smile at the door, and stopped in shame. You have to fight, but you can't fight in front of outsiders. Don't get me wrong, this is our family's custom. Getting up and spanking our son every morning helps, well, contributes to physical and mental development. Quick, girl, come in and sit down. It's cold outside. Stop standing outside. Zhang Tiancheng stood up quickly, called Ruishui in, and even gave Zhang Yu a look. That means I will continue to fight you when you come back from school. Zhang Han got a glass of water for Ruishui, looking a little confused, but she didn't say anything and went back to her room after finishing the tea. Zhang Tiancheng didn't stop in the living room. He said he was going to buy something and left. Now only Zhang Yu and 2 people were left in the room. Oh yes, there is also a cat. I've written the transfer application, and I'll teach it to the principal later. Please help me. After saying that, Rui Shui stood up and bowed to Zhang Yu, looking as humble as possible. Zhang Yu didn't stop him. He picked up the water in front of him and took a sip. As for helping your grandma perform the surgery, I said yesterday that it's no problem. I also know how much you hate me in your heart. But I don't hope that one day you will find the opportunity to stab me in the back. Rui Shui nodded quickly without saying a word. I deleted your photos. With that said, Zhang Yu picked up his phone and deleted all the photos in the album in front of Rui Shui. Rui Shui looked in disbelief. Deleted? Was it deleted so easily? What, you don't believe it? Do you doubt that I have a backup? Zhang Yu raised his eyebrows and asked. No, I don't believe it, I just. Okay, don't just stop it, I don't want to treat you as an enemy, you know that. Otherwise I will kill you in the beast dimension. Rui Shui nodded. Suddenly I felt that my hatred for him was no longer so deep. After all, he relied on him to save his grandma, and the photos were deleted. Besides, having a group of talented and powerful teammates like them was exactly what he wanted. The only thing I still hate about him now is that this fool bullied me like that in the beast dimension. Kidnapping, threat, he even ignored her pleas and forcibly took pictures of her. Forget it, as long as I save grandma, these are not intolerable. Okay, don't be dumbfounded. I invite you to join the team as captain. Zhang Yu stretched out his hand and stared at Rui Shui sincerely. Rui Shui hesitated for a moment and stretched out her little hand to Zhang Yu. The two held each other tightly. Wow, these little hands are so tender. Zhang Yu thought in his mind. I still remember the last time I looked at it so carefully was the day before yesterday. At that time, these hands were firmly grasping the belt. Ahem, I'm going too far. Okay, you go out and wait for me first. I'm going to change clothes. Zhang Yu took the initiative to retract his hand, told Rui Shui to wait for me outside, and ran to his bedroom to change clothes. Rui Shui walked to the corridor outside the door, closed the door gently, and snorted in her heart. Do you want me to really focus on you? Humph, I'm not a little girl who will fall for someone's trick. You've bullied me into this, and you still want to make me fall in love with you with just 2 words. You really took me for a fool. When you really let down your guard. The mountains are high and the road is far, let's wait and see. Zhang Yu returned to the bedroom and closed the door with his backhand. Opening an encrypted file on the computer, there was Rui Shui's photo inside. Ha, I said, I know your inner thoughts. Is it a delaying tactic? P.S. I'll give it 5 stars, but I won't stop when Zhang Yu goes to your house to lay in bed at night. The sword of time is about to emerge, and invincibility is about to be achieved. Gaowu Dabi is the first sword coming ashore, where will it go? On the hospital bed, Zhang Yu looked at Grandma Rui Shui. Although he is over 60 years old, his eyes are full of energy. Even though she knew that the success rate of her operation was very low, there was no trace of fear in her eyes. Some are just open-minded and thorough. This old man is very shrewd, even the principal is not as good as her. This was Zhang Yu's first impression after seeing her. Of course, the previous ones are all nonsense. Who can tell so many things with their eyes? Back to business. When Zhang Yu looked at her, she also looked at Zhang Yu. This young man is insidious and cunning. If my granddaughter fell in love with him, she would probably be picked on. Hey, Xiao Shui brought a handsome boy to see Grandma. Are you friends? After the two looked at each other for a moment, Grandma smiled and spoke to them half-jokingly. Grandma, you misunderstood. We are good friends. I came to see you today. Ah, what did you say, young man? My old lady's ears don't work. I said, Grandma, we are good friends, and I came to see you today. Huh, what, Zhang Yu? I said, you misunderstood. Rui Shui and I are just ordinary friends, not boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm here to see you today. Oh, it's Xiao Shui's friend, sit down quickly, please sit down. Saying that, the old lady quickly stood up. No, you're not feeling well, just keep lying down. With quick eyes and quick hands, Zhang Yu stepped forward to support the old lady and gently put her back on the bed. Grandma, just lie down and don't worry about him. Rui Shui stepped forward and covered the old lady with a quilt, and gave Zhang Yu a fierce look. Zhang Yu, why are you staring at me? What did I say? No need to cover it. Old lady, I just want to use the toilet. Young man, the smell in the room is bad. Could you please go out and wait for a while? Zhang Yu nodded without saying anything, turned and left the ward. After Zhang Yu left, the old lady took Ruishui's hand and covered her with a quilt. My dear granddaughter, tell grandma, did you beg him to save grandma? It must have cost a lot. Ruishui shook her head and nodded again. The price. It's the price of joining their team for a lifetime. Silly granddaughter, remember, try to stay away from him in the future. You can't fight him, and you can't control him. Ruishui nodded, with a wry smile on her face. How could she not know Zhang Yu's insidiousness? But now that I want to get out, it's too late. Bang bang, Wu Xiao, it's time for the operation. Please ask your family to sign. The nurse knocked on the door twice, and the heavy sound made Ruishui's heart skip a beat. Please, nurse sister, just give it to me. Zhang Yu outside the door took the responsibility letter from the nurse and placed it in front of Ruishui. Sign it. Ruishui took the pen handed over by Zhang Yu with trembling hands. But I still can't write my name. Please, you must save my grandma, please. Ruishui's voice trembled, and her tone was almost pleading to the extreme. Zhang Yu didn't say anything, but held Ruishui's little hand holding the pen and helped her write her name. Ruishui, cross out, snow. Ruishui's little hands were cold and wet to the touch with sweat. After signing, the old lady was pushed into the operating room by several nurses. The moment Zhang Yu was pushed into the operating room, he took the opportunity to save a file for the old lady and several doctors. As the door of the operating room closed and the red light came on, Ruishui's heart was in her throat. The extreme mental tension made her legs weak, and she fell down as soon as her vision went dark. With quick eyes and quick hands, Zhang Yu held her in his arms. Feeling the thick shoulders in front of her, Ruishui resisted from the bottom of her heart, but then she thought about it, and her whole body was being looked at by him. Forget it, it doesn't matter. About half an hour later, Ruishui woke up from her coma. The first thing he saw when he woke up was Zhang Yu lying on a chair in the corridor with his eyes half closed. Looking back at myself, lying on the cold floor. This fool threw himself on the floor while he was unconscious. Are you still a human being? Don't you understand a little bit of compassion? Ruishui wanted to talk to Zhang Yu for a few words, but she remembered that her grandma was still in the operating room. Forget it, now is not the time to talk about this, grandma's safety is important. After another 10 minutes or so, the lights in the emergency room went out. The new intern came out and gave the two of them a smile that he thought was very sunny. Two family members, what do you think it means to be motionless? Huh, is he a idiot? No, it's your grandma. Zhang Yu. Ruishui, you told me about crosstalk, huh? Didn't my grandma come to the rescue? Ruishui's heart skipped a beat and she quickly looked at Zhang Yu. Do not worry. Zhang Yu patted Ruishui on the shoulder, walked quickly to the door of the operating room, and used a file loader on the old lady and several exhausted doctors. Okay, let's continue the operation. Doctor. What the hell? If the operation fails, can I delete the files and try again? Is this horse riding a time system? My energy is full instantly. Me too. The doctors felt their recovered strength and looked at Zhang Yu with shock. Time is a factor. If the hospital can be brought here, the chances of future surgeries will only be 0% or 100%. But when I thought about it, this was impossible. It would be a waste if the time system was only used in the hospital. Okay, don't be surprised. Re-operate and change the method. The chief surgeon gave instructions to everyone, and the red light in the operating room turned on again. Brother, do you want to go in for surgery too? Zhang Yu asked the intern. Yes, I want to help my master. Should I say it or not, brother, your time system is really impressive. The intern doctor gave Zhang Yu a thumbs up, turned around and walked into the operating room. Ruishui looked at the red light in the operating room in a daze, not knowing what she was thinking. But the only thing that was certain was that Ruishui's heart dropped as she raised her throat. Zhang Yu, thank you. Can't hear you clearly. I said, thank you. If you really want to thank me, please give me a leg. My legs hurt from sitting on the broken chair. Ruishui didn't say anything. She leaned down towards Zhang Yu's position and started to beat his legs with her two white and tender little hands. This girl is really capable of stretching and bending. Zhang Yu thought to himself. The current relationship between the two is just acting. Rui Shui plays the role of the little white rabbit who pretends to be conquered by the big bad wolf and waits for an opportunity to kill the big bad wolf. Zhang Yu plays the role of the big bad wolf who conquers the little white rabbit. He wants the little white rabbit who pretends to be conquered to actually be conquered. About half an hour later, the lights in the operating room went out again. The intern somersaulted out of the operating room. Hey, your grandma didn't do the whole job, so I'll give you the whole job. Although the old lady wanted to stand up and beat Zhang Yu, she was still wearing an oxygen mask. When Rui Shui saw her grandma awake, she hurried over and squeezed her grandma's hand excitedly, her voice choked with sobs. Grandma, you finally woke up, but you scared me to death. The old lady rubbed Rui Shui's little head with fondness in her eyes. Be good, Grandma is fine. Just chatting with the Lord of Hell for a while and drinking some tea. Strange to say, Lord Yama looks very similar to the young man who saved me. Zhang Yu. Rui Shui nodded in agreement, told her grandma and went downstairs to buy dinner. After Rui Shui left, the old lady sighed deeply. Zhang Yu pretended not to hear and continued to look at his phone. Why? The old lady sighed again. Zhang Yu. Old lady, if you have anything to say, please tell me. I am a relatively honest person. If I do anything wrong, please forgive me. Are you honest? Ah, the old lady was full of contempt for this sentence. Young man, you saved my old lady's life. I would like to thank you in advance. The old lady thanked Zhang Yu. If she hadn't just had surgery and couldn't get up, she would have had to get up and bow. You're welcome. Rui Shui is our teammate. As the captain, it is only natural for us to help our teammates. Zhang Yu leaned forward and returned the salute. Besides, if you have anything to say, just say it. The old lady nodded without mincing words. Okay, then I'll just tell you. I don't know why that girl Xiao Shui had a conflict with you, but I promise here that Rui Shui will never become your enemy in the future. Please also let my Rui Shui go. As a condition, my old lady can help you divine 3 hexagrams. How about that? After saying this, the old lady stretched out her hand, and 2 golden tortoise shells appeared in her hand, with a few copper coins scattered next to it. A fortune teller. This profession is not common. Zhang Yu's pupils shrank. He didn't expect that there would be a fortune teller in a small place like Luo City. Fortune telling is a very magical profession. You can see the future, predict bad luck, and know destiny. Although the number of fortune tellers is not that large, there are only about a dozen in the whole world, but China accounts for half of them. There is no way. Who made China's divination methods diverse? Zhang Yu shook his head and refused without thinking. He didn't think that the 3 hexagrams in Bu Shang could hold up against Rui Shui, who was talented in SS. Besides, Rui Shui still hates herself very much. Letting her go would be setting up trouble for herself in the future. Young man, don't refuse in a hurry. The old lady will give you a divination on the spot and let you see it. Then you can make a decision after reading it. How about that? After saying this, the purple awakening factor spread out around the old lady, wrapped in tortoise shells and copper coins, and threw them into the air. 7 copper coins form the shape of the Big Dipper hanging in the sky, showing a picture. In the picture, Zhang Yu is holding a mobile phone in his left hand and a bottle of blue liquid in his right hand with a smile on his face. Behind him are rows of samurai monuments holding long swords. An island shrine. Why did you go there? Just when Zhang Yu was confused, the old lady waved with one hand, and the scene changed again. Zhang Yu in the picture was seen grinning ferociously, saying something to the phone, and the blue liquid in his right hand was sprayed out towards the row of warrior monuments. Boom! In the night, the raging fire roared like a waking lion, devouring the shrine and sweeping. Zhang Yu. This is me. Did I burn down the toilets in the island country? Zhang Yu looked at the figure in the picture in shock. He had no doubt that it was him. Even the smile was as vulgar as his own. Besides, fortune tellers can really predict the future. The old lady also stared at the figure in the picture with a shocked expression. This guy actually burned the island's sacred toilet. Okay, you can do it. You did a great job. So happy. I take back what I just said. Remember to let Xiao Shui show her face when you are burning. The old lady laughed loudly and did not stop Ruishui from joining Zhang Yu's team. She even forgot to pick up the oxygen mask when she dropped it. He can even do this kind of thing that everyone expects him to do. How bad can he be? Old man, the juniors are about to avenge you. You must remember to watch. When did this happen? Zhang Yu asked. I don't know, but it won't be long. It won't be long. Zhang Yu murmured, what needs to be concerned about now is not this, but thinking about what means can be used to make Ruishui regard the team as home from the heart. But now it seems that Grandma Ruishui's agreement should be regarded as an unexpected gain. She didn't need to mention it at all, she would take the initiative to persuade Ruishui. Zhang Yu now only gives them two options, one is to join, or the other is to become an enemy. Since the old lady chose to let Ruishui join, for the sake of Ruishui's safety, she would definitely not agree with Ruishui's cleverness of doing one thing in front of others and behind the other's back. The old lady is a smart person and knows that Ruishui cannot deal with Zhang Yu. If you can't deal with it, then just don't become an enemy. Opening parenthesis. Note, the world is a parallel world, and there are some misprints that are not very rigorous in the hospital surgery. It was already half an hour later when Ruishui came back from buying food. While buying food, Ruishui also took the time to go to the school and put the transfer application form on the principal's desk. The rice xiao Ruishui bought is soft and sweet. Shut up and eat your food. Ruishui glared at Zhang Yu fiercely and said. Hee. The meal was finally finished under Ruishui's resentful eyes. You just took a photo of yourself and now you have to buy food for this fool. Although this beast saved Grandma, I still felt very, very wronged. It was a blessing that the old lady didn't know about the crazy things Zhang Yu did to Ruishui. Otherwise, not to mention agreeing to let Ruishui join, she would have to drag herself up from the hospital bed and give him 2 slaps. After dinner, Zhang Yu found a pet shop on the way back and bought Xiao Xiao some cat litter and dried fish. But when he walked downstairs of the community, Zhang Yu suddenly remembered that the grudge he had with his father was still unresolved. My father is probably lying on the sofa with the 7 wolves waiting for him now. This home, even if you don't come back. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu turned around and walked towards the internet cafe behind him. He called Li Dapeng and asked him to join him in the hacking game. Since he didn't bring his ID card, Zhang Yu used his face and shamelessness to bully the network administrator at the front desk for 10 minutes and agreed to add her WeChat before turning on the computer. Trough, big handicap, big cripple. This horse is full of blood. Zhang Yu watched his computer turn into a gray screen and kept cursing at Li Dapeng. Sure enough, never believe your teammates when they say you are disabled. Early morning, Li Dapeng and Zhang Yu walked out of the internet cafe. It is worth mentioning that they each had panda eyes. Let's go to your house and sleep. I'm so sleepy. Zhang Yu yawned and pulled Li Dapeng towards his home. Are you going to my house? Uncle Zhang is waiting for you in the living room with the 7 wolves again. Li Dapeng was very happy in his heart. No, the almanac says my house can't entertain guests today. You, Zhang Yu, are you here too? You must take this beating. Almanac. Zhang Yu untied the 7 wolves from his waist, then put a hold on Li Dapeng, and then there was a snap. Read the file. He faced Li Dapeng and tied the 7 wolves around his waist with one hand. A set of movements can be performed smoothly. Hiss. Dad, please continue. Stop talking nonsense and leave now. Quote. Zhang Yu pulled Li Dapeng and walked towards his home. Zhang Yu, you're not at home. As soon as the two went upstairs, they met Luo Yichang knocking on the door of Zhang Yu's house. What are you two doing? As usual, Luo Yichang leaned over Zhang Yu and smelled it. Sniff sniff. Fragrant, still so familiar. The one on Ruishui. Seeing Luo Yichang frown, Zhang Yu quickly explained. Ruishui's grandma had an operation yesterday, and the success rate was less than 30%. I archived it for her. Is this a dog's nose? Yesterday I pulled Ruishui's clothes and you could smell it. Grandma Ruishui's surgery. Why didn't you tell us about this in advance? What? Ruishui is now a new member of our team. Grandma is undergoing surgery and she should go and visit her. Zhang Yu nodded. This was considered an oversight on his part. He took out his mobile phone from his pocket and organized everyone in the Wakai Fugi group to go to the hospital to visit the old lady. By the way, you two aren't going to school today. You're almost late. Go to school. Zhang Yu was stunned for a moment, then immediately recovered and quickly turned on his phone to check the time. Groove. I forgot that I am still a student now. Student. 7:50. If nothing else, I'm going to be late. Forget it, I'll skip school for a day today. Zhang Yu rubbed his sleepy eyes and handed them to Luo Yichong the kitten supplies he bought for Xiao Xiao. He asked her to help them take them home, and then took Li Dapeng and went to his house to sleep. Ha! You can't escape by yourself even if you skip school. Good brothers just skip school together. Luo Yisheng. You're squeezing me to death, go sleep on the sofa outside. Why, this is my home, my bed. Li Dapeng wanted to resist a few more words, but saw Zhang Yu's hands already touching the 7 wolves around his waist. He quickly swallowed the rest of his words. With a frustrated look on his face, he grabbed his own pillow and ran to the sofa. Bah, it's nothing, just a dove occupying a magpie's nest. Ding dong, ding dong. Who always sends messages? I just fell asleep. Zhang Yu, who was awakened by the ringing of his cell phone, was filled with anger. He picked up the phone and wanted to spit it back. When he opened his phone, he saw a message from Rui Shui. AAA Lobster Sister Shui. Zhang Yu, the principal is talking to me. AAA Lobster Sister Shui. Zhang Yu, the principal has finished talking to me and he doesn't want me to transfer to another school. AAA Lobster Snow Sister. The principal's attitude is very tough. He will not let me transfer until he is dead, so he has to resort to bitter tactics. I guess if I had to change, he would use a bitter trick. Zhang Yu. Nima, as for that, isn't it just that the students transfer to another school, or is it a bitter trick? But when I think about Rui Shui being the only SS-level student in No. 3 middle school, I don't know if my principal's war was successful or not. Even if he was successful, I can only feel sorry for him. Zhang Yu, leave it to me and wait. After sending the message, Zhang Yu put on his clothes, washed his face, and slapped Li Dapeng awake twice. The angry two took a taxi and drove to No. 3 middle school. Uncle, open the door and let us in. Arriving at the entrance of No. 3 middle school, Zhang Yu slapped the doorman's window, but the doorman who was tinkering with the radio couldn't hear him at all. Master, open the door. The doorman still didn't hear it and continued tinkering with the radio. Sao, this uncle is not deaf, is he? Li Dapeng muttered. Sao, how dare your grandma scold me? Zhang Yu. Li Dapeng, are you two little brats scolding me? The doorman spoke a dialect, opened the door angrily and walked towards the two of them. Li Dapeng was originally very angry after being awakened by Zhang Yu's sinuses. Seeing the guard's appearance, he immediately became angry. He rolled up the sleeves on his arms and walked towards the doorman. Seeing this, Zhang Yu quickly grabbed the angry Li Dapeng and said, Dapeng, we are 3 good young people. It is immoral to attack the elderly. Li Dapeng, is this the same Zhang Yu who would rush over to a dog on the road and punch it in the face? This feels like being robbed. Zhang Yu shook his head, looking mysterious. Time to stop. An ordinary person like the guard can already control the current time for more than 20 seconds. The guard was arrested. Zhang Yu turned around and walked into the uncle's room. Without saying a word, he smashed the radio that the uncle had just repaired, and took Li Dapeng and ran towards the teaching building. Li Dapeng, I thought you had changed, but I didn't expect that you had changed. When the time stop ends, where are the two of them still? The angry doorman immediately wanted to listen to music on the newly repaired radio to relieve his mood. Go inside and take a look. The radio was smashed into pieces, and even the battery was flattened by him. The angry doorman jumped up and down like a grandson. 2 little brats, don't let me see you again. Based on the location sent by Rui Shui, the two followed the map and found their classroom. Dong dong dong. Zhang Yu knocked on the classroom door. Which grade are you from? Who are you looking for? The female teacher pushed up her eyes on the bridge of her nose, put down the textbook in her hand, and looked at the two of them. To be honest, I'm here to cause trouble today. I want to challenge the strongest person in your class. Li Dapeng smiled confidently, with his hands behind his back, his face full of arrogance. As soon as these words came out, everyone fell silent. Then he looked at Li Dapeng with a look that looked like a fool, even the teacher looked the same. Zhang Yu also blushed. Why did he come to cause trouble? This horse is here to die in society, right? But Li Dapeng is different. Not only does he feel ashamed, he actually enjoys it. There is even a little pride in my heart. Look, they are all so shocked by my domineering aura that they can't even speak. Zhang Yu covered his face and said, Teacher, my friend has a bad mind. Don't be as knowledgeable as him. Today, I want to beat you all down, or I want to be beaten down by you. Teacher, Ruishui, Li Dapeng, I've learned, I still have to be brother Yu. This sentence means that I have a strong character and am much better than myself. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.